Hachi Machi Delco. We have a very nice little spiffy episode for you tonight. We're going to break from the formats of just regular interviews and whatnot, and we are going to discuss actual topics, things that have happened in the community pages, wild things we've seen online, and we are just going to discuss them in a Delco format. We are joined tonight by the owner of the most Delco bar ever.
Still,
Yeah. It started in 2018. They've held on to it since. No one's dethroned them. I don't see it happening.
He said dethroned.
Yeah. What do you think I said? Shit?
Yeah, it kind of came out quickly. So
someone called us stupid for making a Hawk Tua reference.
I actually thought that was
It's so topical.
I thought that was very funny, though, the way you...
So did I.
You figured it out. It was the Seahawks are playing...
looks like if a Confederate flag wiped its own asshole.
Who?
The guy who said that we were stupid for making a Hawk Tua post. That was, I think...
That shit's like so old. It's like 4 days ago, bro.
Yeah.
I actually think people who go out of the way to tell you that's stupid instead of just scrolling on...
Exactly.
Are stupid.
That's people who never got Hawk Tua.
Yeah.
Yep.
He needs a good old-fashioned Hawk Tua.
Looking at his wife. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah. I swear, one episode, we're just going to take all the people who talk shit on us, and we're just going to fucking grill their picture.
Great idea.
And, like, they'll tune
Yeah,
in
it's on social media, so there's nothing holding you back from doing that.
Right.
Oh, there's a whole group chat. Because as soon as you talk shit on us, it goes to, like, a secret chat. Not a secret, just a private chat, where it's just like, fucking Roast City, man.
Yeah.
So, hi, PJ.
Hey, Chris. Christopher. Is it Albert or Alan or?
It's Alan, but
Alan? It's Alan?
It's Alan Michael, if you want to be exact.
You're an Italian and it's Alan?
Yeah. Believe me, my my great grandmother was not happy with that.
That's like the P and PJ being Pedro for Dolan.
Pedro Dolan.
Which, by the way, my wife and son call me when I get tan, and I am Pedro right now.
It's funny that I'm the Italian and you tan a whole hell of a lot better than I do.
Bro? I am Black Irish to the hilt. I get like one sunburn, next thing I know, man, I am. I could be a Dominican relief pitcher.
Oh my God! Here goes Pedro Jose Dolan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, first of all, that picture up there.
Yeah.
I'm tan, but I have on long sleeve.
That was from. Do you know what you remember that picture's from? I got that.
Fox News.
Yes.
I got back from Florida prior to that. Which, by the way, your boy's going to be on again Friday on Harris Faulkner.
Wait,
really?
Uh-huh.
Oh shit!
I like how he had to ask when you said your boy. He had to ask.
Yeah, goddamn right.
Yeah,
I'll tell you who your boy is.
Are you? Oh, you're our guy.
Wait a minute.
So wait, do you go up to New York for that again, or?
Yeah.
Oh wow,
bro, it's the Diddies. They bring down a. Are we worried about it?
No, I'm not worried about anything.
So
yeah,
they call you up. So I got interviewed by the Washington Post or Journal, one of them, about something.
Their crossword is too hard. So I don't like them.
It was something during the last election, and I was telling them how I was a school teacher in Philly at the time, and yada yada yada. And then I started getting hit. Like, it was mainly Fox News because I'm registered independent, and I get hit all the time. And they're great. The first time I did was in Harrisburg for Martha McCallum, and they send a phenomenal, like, huge Suburban. You know, there's drinks in it, like. The guy picks you up and drops you over your house. He'll take you up to New York City and back the same day. It's
holy shit!
Nice.
Yeah, it's great. But I'll tell you what, when you go in that building in Fox, you don't go anywhere but that little studio, and they rifle you in and rifle you out.
Yeah, I get that.
And election day, it was like you would have thought the president was in there. It's crazy. I was up there on election night one time.
They curved you.
Election.
They curved you.
It was wild. Security everywhere, and these guys are all special forces. And
yeah,
it was nutty.
We ran into that when we were down in Delaware when the Biden was waiting to win or whatever. When me, you, and Spaz went down there and all that shit.
Yeah, that's right.
The drones that would like fly right behind your head. I'm like, I'm not making any sudden movements.
Yeah, that was goofy scary.
That was odd.
Yeah,
because I was there like 3 or 4 nights in a row. And the one night you came down, they were just like, I don't know, maybe they recognized you from like the Fox things.
No, that was before then.
I'm like, why is that drone like right there? Oh yeah, that's true. I did look very
I think you had a man bun then too.
I did look very they would have patted me down on an airplane situation. Yeah.
Well, they always do look for the drunkest knucklehead to put on the news. Yeah. So I'm just saying,
this guy looks like he's got nothing to lose.
Yeah. I'm sure we're gonna get him to say something stupid that we're gonna be able to go viral over.
Oh no, it was like the fucking Secret Service drones.
This guy looks like he's been peeing Gatorade bottles for the last 2 weeks because you don't feel like going to the bathroom or something. You know?
Have you seen my collection?
Oh, it happens. Al, Go to the first story.
Oh, okay.
We're
Jumping
doing
right into it.
stories, right?
Yeah. So this is, they talk about 2014 in this. Just for, remember, we are podcast first before the visual, so I had to explain to people. This is a picture of some sort of circular hub, and it was from the page. If you grew up in media, and then it's the Lima UFO was located off the southbound lanes of Baltimore Pike near Pennell Road around 2014. I took a few photos of it. Unfortunately, it was cut into pieces and scrapped some years back. Bottom of my photo I took the other day is from the site of what it looks like now. We had a show about Delaware County that we had our finger on the pulse of the shit. Why is this the first time we're hearing about this shit?
And it was moved already?
Yeah, I mean, 10 years ago it was there, but they chopped it up and put it up for media.
Yeah, but what was it there for? Was it
there on purpose, or was this
It's probably something like. You ever see one of those weird mountain houses? That's what it looks like to me.
So in Japan, they actually had communities built in the 70s that had these circular pods with the windows. It was like a Jetsons fucking UFO thing. And it looks like that, but why was it there?
Do you know the Jackie Gleason story?
No, I do not.
All right, so we're going down my rabbit hole already.
Yes.
So Jackie Gleason
from the Honeymoon,
was an incredible artist in every different. He could sing, he could play piano, great actor, could shoot golf. He was a hell of an athlete, even though his size was big.
Happy boy.
Big man's look up to big man's that can move.
Heard that. Heard that. My bad ear.
So he gets drunk with Nixon.
Okay.
And his wife.
Typical story. Yeah.
And he's like, "We got him," and he's like, "Get in the car."
Oh.
They drive down to, I want to say it's Pemble Air Force Base. They're in Florida. Okay. They drive down, and apparently Nixon showed him some shit in an Air Force base.
Really?
After that, Jackie Gleason built a UFO house up in New York. And if you pull it up on screen, you can see it. It's beautiful.
Does it look like that shit?
And his wife said when he came home that night after drinking with him, he didn't speak for a week.
Oh. Do you think it's because they did something sexual?
He probably saw bodies or something. I don't know.
Did his house look like that circular flying saucer thing?
It looks like a saucer. It's huge and it's cool.
Because that would actually line up with the whole Nixon was president in the early 70s. That's when those Tokyo things got built. That looked exactly like that.
This is my shit. This is what I follow all the time because I'm confused by it.
I'm just wondering why this was there in 2014 and we never heard anything about it.
Look at that thing.
Oh.
It just went up for sale.
Wait, that looks exactly like the fucking spaceship they got from Independence Day.
Yeah, smaller scale, but yeah.
Literally, no. The small one that they used to get in the butthole of the big one. The ones that's fighting the F-18s and shit. The one that Jeff Goldblum shoots the fucking Coke can off of, and it's just that's exactly what it looks like. As a guy I've seen Independence Day 1,000 times.
It's cool, isn't it?
That is rad. It looks like it's in a fucking Serengeti though, with just dilapidated moats around it.
I wonder if sodomy's required in there.
I mean,
required.
What area isn't it anymore?
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I had to post that, and I was like, I have literally never heard of this thing.
Yeah, me neither, dude. Where's Pennell Road? Which one's Pennell Road?
Pennell Road's the one that
goes to Aston.
It's the one that Wolf's is on.
Yes,
but I guess that goes.
Where does it hit? McDade or Baltimore? I don't know.
Somewhere around the Chick-fil-A down there.
Okay.
Somewhere around.
Okay.
That's how. Fast food. There's a shower. You got 6 people in that shower.
Yeah, I know.
Plenty of sodomy in there.
That's before you get.
I'm a North Delco guy. I only know
heard that
25 things in Aston, but I love them all.
I got a buddy of mine. Shout out Ed Carp. He says there's no reason for him to go west of Fairview, east of South, north of Baltimore Pike, and south of Chester Pike.
That's all you need.
I need everything in my life's right now.
It's fair. I could live off that.
You can see a really guy saying that, right?
Oh, 100%.
Like somebody asked me, he said, if you were under Delco house arrest, meaning you can leave your house, you just can't leave Delco, would you be able to survive like that? I said, yeah, I mean, everything's there. I mean, you can't get a beach unless you go to, I guess, Essington.
You can go to Imperial.
Yeah, right? Go to Imperial.
You get shit delivered, too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, traveling-wise, you get a little restricted, but everything else, I mean, I really kind of live that life anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not very often, though, I leave the area.
Yeah.
Go to a Phillies game or something when I really stretch my legs out a little bit. But yeah, I mean, you could get away with that, like, and still live like a normal life.
I feel majority of our listeners have lived that for all but 12 days of their lives.
Sure,
sometimes.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
shit. When I go to college, it probably would have been the same way.
Even when I went to 2
College
different colleges
ruins
and I
everything.
still lived in Delco. Like,
There's a whole other world.
Like,
yeah,
go to community college, you're still in
a whole
Delco.
weaker
Oh,
world.
sure.
Actually, think about it. You can go to many colleges in Delco and still not leave. I mean,
You can commute to Temple. You could do online nowadays.
no, but I'm saying like
What?
there's 17 colleges in Delco. You don't have to leave Delco to go to
Oh,
college.
you said online, not one line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Online.
Right.
Online, not the Burgundy Urinal special.
Oh. No, to be fair, that's all every Delaware County bar.
That
Dolan's.
is true. That is
Except for Dolan's.
Except for Dolan's.
Except for Dolan's. Yeah.
Drugs,
Except for
drugs,
Dolan's.
drugs
Are not welcome.
are not
there.
welcome.
That's
Are
right.
Not welcome there.
Not
Sorry,
welcome.
folks.
Next story, Alan.
Oh, okay. Alan, huh?
Yeah. This one's taking the area by storm. So in
all the grammar police are going through the roof right now.
yeah. That is pretty bad. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? It was bound to happen at some point. I did not know those signs cost $15,000.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Is that what they cost? That was going to be my retort.
Yeah.
Was like literally, those things got to be thousands of dollars.
So what do? You take like a green one and just slap over the
They
front?
They did tonight.
Yeah.
Yep. They corrected it and it's like an off.
Like, what's worse to you, PJ? Is it the fact that it was done, the fact that it was hung, and it was still not noticed until somebody pointed it out?
My question to you is, did they not just put a smaller one in there to replace it?
Yeah, well, they
Like,
did that.
in the letters.
Yeah, they just put like a green thing over.
Yeah, they put like a basically.
They
Like
covered
a
up
license plate
Central,
over it.
right? Yeah.
It's like an off green now. That
But
just
like,
has
if that
corrected.
whole thing costs 15,000,
Yeah.
that little thing probably costs what? I don't know,
8,000.
8,000.
1,000. Yeah, a couple
Why not
thousand.
make it just the letters that are missing? Or that
Or they
wrong?
reverse the letter, so it's just the TR gets
Again,
reversed.
bureaucracy at the state and federal level is.
I mean,
How are they not?
they were
keeping-
going to get the goats to chew it off.
right.
There was an idea for that.
This government, I'm telling you, it's.
That is.
We're lucky in Ridley Park with what we got as far as our politicians go. But I mean, God damn, how bad is government?
That is fucking bad. Like that's fucking.
But I'm
bad.
saying, what's worse, the fact that it was
Yeah.
done that way,
Yeah.
and then
It's the money.
before it was shipped out, somebody didn't go shit,
Thank you.
or the next thing that goes, was it shipped? Did somebody ship it out? And go, just don't tell you. Just see if anybody notices. Like, is it like?
I guarantee you somebody noticed it.
Take for instance, the other last kind of hubbub thing was the Cole Hamels was just retired as a Philly,
Yeah, I
right?
was there.
Did you see the Cole Hamels bobblehead?
No.
It looked nothing like Cole Hamels. Nothing
That's
like
a
Cole Hamels.
graphic,
They're always
though.
like that,
Yeah,
though.
that's a
But
graphic.
no, I mean this was it was really bad in my eyes. It wasn't even close.
Which, by the way,
I feel like they slapped his name on somebody else's bobblehead that they ended up not using.
I've been to one baseball game this year,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the one game that my boy Lenny was at, and he was right below us, and I didn't know it. And I don't know if you saw his video or not.
No.
but tell us all
Please,
about it.
do tell.
Please.
Can I put it on air?
I don't care. It's on his Instagram.
I'll just see if I can.
So
pull it up.
Lenny calls me a lot, right? And
About
sometimes
what?
it's coherent, sometimes it's not.
Coherent. I thought you were going to say something.
Yeah,
He is
well,
a-
yeah, that
he is a
too.
treat.
And that's the thing. Like, Nails has got he's not an angel, right? And he has
That's why we love him.
Nails
He has-
had his struggles.
struggles and
Misunderstood.
strokes.
Would you say misunderstood?
Well, I mean, the man's a stroke victim now, right? He's not changing his habits, gentlemen. Let me repeat that.
He's not changing his habits.
No.
I do want him to. If the one thing I was just like, ooh, can't do that, is when he pulled a gun on the Uber driver and then took to Twitter.
I wanted to do that a lot of times.
But he responded with just tweeting out a Taylor Swift lyric.
He might not even have
like
done that.
it made it so much.
All right,
better.
so-
So wait, what was the day of this one? So I can
It was
find
Cole
it.
Hamels' retirement night.
That was what
Friday,
Friday?
yeah. So in the video, so listen, he's always like, hey man, can I stay at your place? And then he'll be like, just kidding. And then when he like gets to the point where he has nowhere to stay, he'll be like, no man, can you really help me out here, man? Like he's not joking anymore. You know what I mean? And then like he'll hang up on me, and then I'll call him back like, bro, how much shit have I done for you? He's like, yeah, well, I'm sorry, blah blah. Anyway, so he's got some new people now that are driving him around and like helping him out.
Yeah, he put a post out about that, correct?
And whatever, God bless it. It's cool. He still calls me.
People do it. The mega fans will do it.
Right, exactly. And these people are thrilled that they're with Lenny Dykstra. Lenny's got ketchup all over his face.
Oh yeah,
his fingernails are orange. We all know what that means, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
His smoking finger hand is orange.
Oh,
and it's probably not cigarettes.
Yeah. This is all making sense. Oh my goodness.
Putting it up.
I'm trying to find it. I might not have the volume on it just yet, but I found. Is this the video?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna see.
Look good.
Wow.
By the way, that hat he's got on, I have the same hat. He's like, bro, that's the sharpest hat I've ever seen. He bought it.
I'm gonna try to see if I can pull it.
Oh, from Instagram, that's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, just give me a second.
What's the synopsis of what he's saying in it?
What
Are you serious?
Yeah,
it's too attractive. Anyone listening, it's two attractive ladies, and he's just pointing at them.
Yeah.
Thinking that it's like 1990 again.
Oh, he don't care. I mean, it's like when he was asking for people to take him to New York. He just flat out said, "I'm not going to pay you. You get to hang out with me."
Oh, and by the way, his assistant's phone number, that's Parker Hamilton.
Who that?
Parker Hamilton is his pen name. Should we say?
Oh, okay.
Parker Hamilton.
I love it,
dude. I love that shit. I love that.
He is a trip. I mean,
he's the best.
How many times have you had him at Dolan's?
Maybe 6 times.
6. I only sadly ran into him the 2 times, and they were probably those 2 nights rank in the top 30 most memorable nights of my life, and I was only there for like an hour.
He ate dirty pickles off my kitchen floor.
That's believable.
And
I mean, if he did,
one of the few things that can be said on the air of what he did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I told you the stories, right?
Oh yeah.
I remember. Didn't he walk into a wrong house?
That was the start of it.
Yeah.
And old Viagra's are involved.
Yeah. I don't know. It's allowed.
He don't want to fly with the dick pills, man. So yeah.
Way to pick up a teammate.
All right, I think I got.
Way to pick up a teammate.
I think I got a video. Hold on 1 second here.
Because the crazy thing is, like, he was even in his debauchery, he could still speak very eloquently and smart.
He's
sometimes.
very smart.
Yeah. I never met someone like, this dude is crazy, but I agree with everything he's saying right now.
Yeah. He's not smart.
Is there something wrong with
Hold on 1 second here. Let me just do this.
Yeah,
Definite would. No doubt about it. A definite would. Okay?
And he posted that.
Well, again, I think someone's handling his
Parker
Instagram
Hamilton
for him. It's probably the people that drove him. And he's probably like, oh, you guys are smart.
Here's my phone.
Driving him around is a weird fucking offer. Like, it's like, yeah, it's a celebrity. It's a local celebrity, especially when you talk about New York and Philadelphia with the only, the 2 main places he'd be popular. But you are essentially signing up to be like, I am going to be an accessory to something tonight.
Well, he constantly, he's very needy. And when you're in a car with him, everywhere's like, I banged 2 Filipino girls in that hotel. Every place he was at, like,
there's always Filipino girls.
Well, with whatever, you know what I mean. It's like,
I'm just wondering out of morbid curiosity.
It's always like I met a waitress and we bagged at the back of that place.
You ever bang a chick from Guam? We call them Guam bats. That's what happened in that diner.
Guam bats.
That's what happened in that diner over there. 4 nipples. It's great. Wood.
What?
So I love that he's.
Was he saying? I'm a little confused because he was whacked. That was he saying I would or I got wood? Like I was really a little confused by the.
He would bang it.
Is he saying I would? Okay.
Yes.
He's like all I heard is wood.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to say would someone take me home?
Yeah. Would somebody hear my cries for help?
And I also just love that, like, he is a Phillies alumni. He's beloved and whatever. I'm sure they're trying to keep their distance from him right now.
Oh, yeah.
But like, he had to probably buy his own tickets to that game and like sit there.
Well, think about it. Then last year they just celebrated the &93 team,
and he was not invited.
Yeah.
I was there covering it. Like they had everybody there.
Yeah.
He was not invited.
I went back and forth about taking him down in tailgating that day. Back and forth.
Oh, on Friday?
No. The
93 one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just to be like, just see him run on the field or something.
Well, just whatever. Take him in the ballpark as a fan.
Yeah.
And then just watch the crowd go nuts. Like, you know what I mean?
He'd be like, here's Dave Hollins, right fielder, Jim Eisenreich. And then sitting in section 207, saying I would bang these fucking girls, Lenny Dykstra!
Doing a beer bong with these 23-year-old kids.
The girls, like the one girl's like, yeah, that's Lenny Dykstra. He was on the '93 Phillies.
They call me Cheetos Knuckles.
Let's get a picture with him. I totally would bang these chicks. All right, maybe not the best of ideas we've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a rough one.
He was the best, dude. He was such a great ball player.
And meeting him.
Do you remember that? How old were you when?
I was 7 in '93, but I do
10.
remember the
I was
team
10.
pretty well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, and I always, every time I meet anybody from the '93 Phillies, the first thing I tell them, like, you guys got me into baseball. Like, I mean,
100%.
like when you're 10 years old, you start to make that decision. Am I going to be a
team.
sports? Am I going to be a sports fan or not? And you kind of pick your own trajectory.
Yeah.
That was that team.
Might have been my favorite Philadelphia team of all time. Just
They were just real.
They were real, and they all like went deep by juicing that year, and like it was. They all were out to get it, and they got real close.
Yeah.
Lenny
and this current Phillies team is always, compared to them.
Yes.
Based on the record, based on the chemistry.
Yeah, but they don't have the chemistry like they did.
Yeah.
They definitely had some chemistry experiments going on.
Oh, absolutely.
Lenny, as the 2 times I did meet him, he is so candid and open about
100%.
Like, he will
his Q&A that one time
had
had me dying.
I'm not gonna throw him under the bus, but like he will literally tell you all the things he did, that would be screened nowadays. All the ways he cheated, all the way whatever, and he's like open about it and uses it to be like a better person. Like,
well, it's not like he can get any more shunned from the MLB than
why he's shunned from the Phillies, right?
Because none of them liked him.
No.
What?
Somebody's daughter.
Ah. I don't even want to know.
Somebody in the.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
But tell me this one.
Management.
I was going to say, is it okay? All right, that's kind of what I kind of was leaning into.
Like management, like they're 70 and the daughter's like 30.
Not underage, but
that's good.
Close.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that's spitting in the face right there.
I remember when he was trying to get the Viagra the one time. He was just like, I cheated on the field. He's like, I used substance to cheat on the field. I used substance to cheat in the bed.
Yeah.
And he just chucked them down in the Miller Lite, and they're like, he's like, yeah, they told me they're 10 years expired. Hope they still work. I used drugs to cheat on the field. I used drugs to cheat in bed.
Soldiers got to be ready for war.
Like, God.
Well, I was there, and he was flirting with my sister-in-law, and then he starts flirting with my wife, and I go, hey, Len, that's my wife. He goes,
yeah, he don't care. He don't care.
You mind if I take it for a ride? It was like, yeah, I kind of do.
I did appreciate the way he was a really great way of seeing, because he's so real. It's almost like Gary Busey where the filter's gone, but it's real and it's not like mean.
No,
but it was just like him, like you could tell all the
unapologetic.
All the weird, like super diehard sports fans are coming up and be like, remember on July 12, 93 when you had the 3?
No, I don't. I don't remember anything from
that. That was so cool. And he's just like, I don't care. But then he would like want to, like, he's like, those people are freaks. They're weird. I want to talk philosophy with someone right now. And snort things.
But the fact that you would expect him to remember anything is just, to me, hilarious. Yeah. Like, it's just, but
his story about they were playing in Florida and he was hungover. You ever hear about this story? They're playing in Florida, like.
It was so hot he got kicked out. He
tried to get kicked out.
Yeah.
And Eric Gregg was behind the plate, and he's like, "Motherfucker, I got to be out here. You got to be out here. Get back up."
I remember that was like an AstroTurf. Like that was like playing on hot concrete.
Yeah.
Pro Player Stadium back in the day.
Yeah.
It was called.
All 4 people there.
Yeah. Especially in the, oh my God, yeah. If it was early in the 90s. Yeah,
it's like a tennis match.
93.
Was that the same time you had to didn't you have to they flew out to go party and they had to fly back to like Pittsburgh or something? I remember hearing about that.
The book's phenomenal.
Him and like 2 other people did that, and like they were throwing up on the in between innings and everything.
I couldn't imagine. You can imagine that to do hungover and having to go out in front of 40,000 people.
I remember 09, 2010.
Yeah, Holbrook does that a lot.
There was an infamous game. It was a Sunday morning or Sunday noon, 1 o'clock game. The fucking Phillies, and we were watching it, and Jason Worth got ejected for arguing balls and strikes from center field or right field. And we're like, what the fuck? It's the first inning. Why are you yelling about a ball and strike from 350 feet away? and he's just like, fuck you, and like gets tossed. And then Shane Victorino like comes to back him up from center field even further away. He's like, don't you fucking do that, fuck you. I'm like, why did our right and center fielder just get ejected 5 pitches into the game? Then it ends up it's because they were the night before they were on camera at the UFC fights in fucking AC, and it just got him back that morning, and we're hungover and didn't want to play him a Heat.
That was worst problem too. They got rid of him because he was a huge gambler.
Believe
they had to rip him out of casinos all the time.
I mean, he just won the fucking the Preakness.
Yeah, his horse.
Not the Preakness, the Belmont Stakes.
That dude looked like he had a kilo of coke in that outfit.
Oh my god, he was like lockjawed. He literally was lockjawed.
Was he like throwing the jockey around?
Oh
like
yeah, he's a big man. He's it was perfect.
Oh, it was great.
Oh,
door knock.
Hello, Denise.
Door knock.
Real quick before we go any further, I remind you guys that this episode is brought to you by Fat Cow Jerky. That's
Excellent.
right, Fat Cow Jerky,
Yeah,
utterly
right.
perfect jerky. Jalapeno garlic, honey habanero, black pepper garlic, and so many more. My favorite pickle. Always got to check it out. Facebook, Instagram, and fatcowjerky.com. They got they just released. They have a bacon jerky.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah,
It looks phenomenal.
yeah. He had samples of that at
And my-
Delco, and they were so good.
And my favorite, you talk about people who were trying to like break our stones about posting stuff. I posted on our social media that the bacon jerky's out. What's this have to do with Delco? It has to do with whatever the hell I want to post on my page.
Oh,
Plus, the guy was from Delco. So shut your damn mouth, I told the guy. But Fat Cow Jerky, check them out. Utterly perfect jerky, fatcowjerky.com. And for all you jerkies out there who get in trouble and you need some good lawyering.
If you need someone to defend you after I punch you in the face or say, what's this got to do with Delco?
Yeah, right. Workers' comp, motor vehicle, criminal law, personal injury, or if you just
write down this number, Lenny.
Yeah, or if you just pissed us off, cherryinjurylaw.com. David R. Cherry is the man with the plan. 610-565-0300. Again, cherryinjurylaw.com. And I normally would just segue to Dolan's, but since the man's here, PJ, tell us what's going on at Dolan's.
What's going on at the Big D?
You got windows now.
We got windows up front. We are currently in the process of remodeling.
What was your slogan? Get vitamin D at the Big D, or
get some vitamin D at the Big D?
What was the idea for the change?
The town's changing. I mean, since Rosemary came in, we haven't had a slow weekend since Rosemary came in. So I just want to do a nicer facade. I've always wanted to do it.
It looks really nice, man.
Yeah, we're getting there.
It looks great. I just drive by. I drive by every day. It's like I should start taking pictures every day. And just have like a stop motion.
And I mean, you think about it. Like if you've been in there prior to this, 30% of that front of that bar is like a dark, dingy corner where we put like Quizzo prizes for the last 3 months. So like I'm just wasting space in a place that needs every square inch that I have. Right.
It does make it look gigantic.
It
really,
It looks bigger. Yeah. I wouldn't say big, but it looks bigger.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it looks like twice the size.
It's the mediocre D.
It's like shaving your bush. It made it look bigger.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
to quote Any Given Sunday, you got to fight for those 2 inches.
Outside of that, we have Flannel Fest this weekend with Brian Quinn and Nikki McGrath, and I think every one of his family members is playing, especially his daughter Kayla, who's the cutest thing in the world.
Speaking of, I heard that Clifton served you for stealing Flannel Fest from them.
Who did? Clifton
Heights.
Clifton Heights?
Yeah.
Oh, that was in Clifton?
No. I'm just saying, Clifton Heights is in the flannel capital.
You were saying that earlier. It was from Clifton.
No. There was it's now called Grunge-a-Palooza.
Well, you talked to Nikki McGrath about.
No, I'm just messing with you.
Yeah,
I didn't like the name.
You didn't like the name?
No, I mean it's flannel in June. But he's like, no, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. All right, cool. Whatever.
I agree because Flannel Fest to me is not. I mean, the Brian Quinn is from Candlebox, right?
Yeah, Candlebox and Octane.
And
there's another.
Love me some Octane.
There's another.
I've gotten laid at so many Octane shows back in the day.
I'm sure Brian has too.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
That Flannel. I don't. Yeah. Like
so many Hammer ladies there. Oh, such a good time.
I would have marketed more as like a '90s party because people kind of love that whole throwback. Like, oh, '90s, like.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but no, they're gonna be great. Every musical event you guys have had there was great.
Which is weird because we're not a musical place, right?
That's what makes it even more impressive.
Maybe that's it. And it's like, we set the bar so low and we just exceed it. That's kind of like, I love the dive bar moniker. And then, yes, the food. Our food is pretty goddamn good, right?
Yeah, by the way. I'm not just saying this because you're sitting right there. By the friggin' way.
If it's not the best burger you've had or in the top 5, I will double your money back. I'm telling you. Everything is fresh except for the brioche. It's goddamn brioche. Yeah. Our French fries are cut fresh. And I know high-end restaurants that don't even cut their own fries. really, really good stuff. We have a great chicken sandwich, the Bang Bang chicken.
I've not tried that yet.
Yeah, it's good.
I know what I'm going to be stopping by for
It's our
Thursday.
2 wing sauces flipped with our breaded chicken breast.
My lord, really?
Yeah, it's like the cheesesteak we used to do.
That was life alteringly good.
The
and
wings.
people don't realize, like,
we still do the wings.
You're listed as a dive bar or whatever that just got windows, but they don't realize you are a culinary expert, like literally taught culinary skills, and you are also working with certified executive chef Nicholas Kingsborough, who was a James Beard runner-up.
Well, Beard spelled wrong, and no, he's not certified executive chef. In fact,
Beard is super spelled wrong.
In fact, he laid carpet until 6 months ago.
I like how it's spelled beard with beer in it.
Yeah, he was a cook, right?
Never.
Oh, okay, great.
So he came to me and he's like, "Yo, bro," he's like, "Why don't we try it out in the kitchen?" I'm like, "I don't, dude. Like, you lay carpet, like, you know." And he's like, you teach culinary." And I'm like, "Yeah, you got a point." And I should have done this years ago. Like, guys who do hard manual labor, the kitchen's not tough for them.
No, my God.
No, God,
but everyone else, the kitchen's a nightmare for.
Dude, I used to work in the kitchen for years. I remember.
Carpeting is I believe the second worst job ever.
Roofing's
Roofing is
not wrong.
one.
Fuck
Roofing
yeah,
is one.
absolutely.
Then carpentry.
Absolutely.
Yeah, roofing
carpets.
in the summertime's the worst. I would say I used to work with a guy laid carpet, painting,
Roofing,
and all that. I
carpet, then
hated it.
warehouse.
Yeah.
My knee
Or concrete work.
Oh God.
Done that plenty of times. Hated it. I know an Italian guy does concrete work. Mind blown right there.
Yeah, so he'll bang out 10-hour shifts in that heat, and he's fine. You know what I mean? And it's great. He's doing a hell of a job.
Yeah, at least in the restaurants I get to escape into the walk-in for like a reprieve.
Yeah. No. Oh, we do a walk-in.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I mean, I set the menu up, taught him everything, and he's just been flying with it. He set the kitchen up the way he wanted to, and he does a really, really good job.
It's not just because you're here and like, you know, like you're a sponsor or whatever. You guys do not.
Yeah, it is.
You guys, no, I will sing the praises.
No, I enjoyed it.
You guys do not half-ass stuff.
No, if you're gonna do it, you do it right.
Yes, and like it's
what my mommy always
nuts
said.
for like the return of like the price that you're paying. Like the food. Oh my God, I still to this day say, if there was one final meal I could get, it was the wings you were making during the pandemic.
Oh my God,
we serve now.
Those are the wings you're serving now.
Uh-huh.
This is not just a fucking endorsement. You have to fucking have them.
Yeah.
Anytime, like I love Hunts. I love not just wings. All that shit.
Ours are different.
They are
just
second
different.
tier because there is a God level tier that exists above them.
Yeah, they're just
that is called Dolan's.
It's an Asian style. It's not your typical wing. It's not a buffalo sauce. It's a sriracha aioli with some marmalade, and it's marinated, deep fried. Like with wings, you got to cook them twice. You got to either boil them, then fry them. You got to bake them, then fry them. You got to steam them, then fry. Whatever you do, you got to cook them twice.
So they are the same fucking.
Yeah, they are exactly.
And you guys are open at 11 tomorrow in the morning.
Well, you just had the hours up there. We'll be open again for food. So the hours are wrong on that. We don't have Wednesday lunch hours, but we'll be open at I think 5 or 6 tomorrow night.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We're only open a few hours.
I can only imagine how you make a burger because I've had the chicken cheesesteak. I've had the wings.
Yeah, you'll love it. Holbert, I'm telling you, you'll love it.
What was the other thing you were selling during the pandemic? It was the wings and the
pork sandwich.
The fucking pork, my God.
That was my boy AJ, who now works at our park. He doesn't work at Dolan anymore. We're still good buddies.
Dude, that shit was so good.
Yeah.
Al, what's the next story?
I loved the COVID outside of the fact that I lost a lot of money.
All right, so speaking of food, this one just came out. Philadelphia Inquirer released their 6 best cheesesteak spots in Delco. And obviously, anytime we talk about ranking food, it's going to get heated or whatever. This one is absolutely fraudulent, and I can tell you why, because I had to jump in and comment on it. The 6 best cheesesteak spots they picked in Delco. Some are fine, and they're all good. But for these to all be there, and it's weird of how they're all in there.
Is that not in any order?
So these are not in any order. It's just they actually did rank them, and this is the order, like 1 through 6. I don't know if that was just a numerical device or whatever. Number 1 was Delco Steaks. Number 2 is Jim's. Then Delco's Original, Drexel Hill Style, Thunderbird 1, Phil and Jim's.
Can we, as Philadelphians and Delco people, can we just say that there's 2 different kinds of cheesesteaks?
Yes.
There's a tourist cheesesteak.
Yes.
And there's the regular corner store, right?
Yes.
And they're both great.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
But we should separate those.
Yes.
There should be monikered something. Like a chop steak or...
There's the specific places that sell your cheesesteaks, Pat's, Geno's, Steve's, Phillips, Joe's or whatever, even Jim's. those are the ones that can have the whiz, and because the whiz keeps
Yes.
flowing, it's a big part. When you go to a corner store, a mom and pop shop, a deli,
Yep.
they have to use the American cheese or the Cooper Sharp. Great fucking addition. So there's absolutely two different ones. My problem with this list is that 4 of them are within fucking 100 feet of each other.
Yeah, dude, and they're all every one of them. I've never. Well, I know they're all the tourist style, right? Except for what Thunderbird, maybe.
I haven't had a Thunderbird in a while.
Well, I know Delco Steaks, they do different versions. Phil and Jim's, I don't think that's
Phil
tourist
and
style.
Jim's is
They're
deli.
legitimate.
Yeah,
Okay, deli
they're
style.
great.
That's it. It's deli and tourist. That's exactly how it should be monitored.
But yeah, so I had to jump in, and I was like, I always try to say how these things, whatever. I was like, always touch subject, but 3 of these are within 500 feet of each other. It literally looks like the author just lives in Broomall and opened up DoorDash and picked the first 3 that popped up. This is not a good representation of the entire county. There's not a lot of research into this.
And Jim's,
I got 2 places I'm going to, and neither one of them are on there.
Is that the one in Springfield?
Jim's is the one in Springfield, also essentially
In Philly.
adjunctly
From
tourist.
Philly.
Yeah, they're the ones on South Street.
I know a new owner took it over, but I don't know if that means
essentially,
anything.
it's the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So adjunctly tourist. It is. It's almost like if Pastor Gino's open up one in fucking Fallcroft. It's still the same touristy thing. Delco Steaks, great sponsors, helped us out with Delco Day and all that shit. We probably will work with them in the future and all that stuff. I get it. I mean, they're literally called Delco Steaks, but literally four of these are in the same area. Delco's Original is fucking great. They're down
never
there.
had that. Where's
They're down there, like Chad's Fordish.
Okay.
They are good. They're legitimate. I mean,
yeah, I will defend them. A weird one in that same area. I am always poo-pooing on the fancy areas down there. Pops recently.
I've heard that.
My lord, it was expensive as fuck, but
I don't
get it.
see. Now let me ask you a question. I don't mind paying extra for
this one
if the food's good.
No, this one was like.
I remember growing up as a big Gaetano's fan.
What's too much?
Gaetano's was expensive pizza back in the day compared to a $10 pizza that we would get.
What's too much though?
Now it's
For
like
cheesesteak.
for cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Well,
if it's great, I'll pay 20. Or
if it's legitimate, I will pay $20 for it. But that is a lot for a basic cheesesteak.
It was $22.
Ooh.
And their pizza, which was great too, the same size as Pika's. Very
what
Pika's
was
like
Delco's?
No, Pops.
Okay.
Let's put it this way: a pizza with just pepperoni and a cheesesteak, generic, was over $50, and I picked it up. We're not talking DoorDash fees.
There was
tipping.
There was one recently. I tried to see if I still have it, but I must have.
Why is Wolf's not on there?
Because
they didn't play the game with the Inquirer.
I honestly
is that Victor Fiorillo that did that?
No, I actually wanted to clarify that was not Victor Fiorillo. Okay. I do not remember her name.
I don't have a war against it.
It was a Vietnamese name. Her name was like Nguyen or something. It was a lady. Last name Nguyen. Yeah, no, but I can tell you if I fucking did a background search, I guarantee she lives in Broomall. Open up DoorDash, and was just like, oh, I'm just picking these 3. And then I've heard of Phil and Jim's. Because they won last year, so they had to put them in there, or else they'd lose their own credibility. Yeah, that one was frustrating.
I'm a Liberty guy too. I love Liberty.
Liberty is one of the most underrated places in the world.
Yeah,
I have to go back there more often.
I haven't been there
forever
since the new guy bought it or took it over.
It's 2 different buildings.
Yeah.
There's the bar. Was it?
Yeah,
there might only been one sign or something, but yeah, I'd always walk in, get that, and then honestly, you got to walk in the bar and fucking hammered. And then go home with the cheesesteak. Yeah, Liberty is criminally underrated.
Yeah.
So there was recently. I'm trying to see if I can find it. But there was recently. I don't know what the website was, but it said the best Italian food in Springfield, right?
Yeah. So I was saving that for the next episode.
Oh, okay.
That is.
I ruined it apparently because we talked enough.
That is coming up because I sent you all the things I was like I want to discuss.
Yeah.
I'm like shit. We're already at 17 for this episode. Save 17 for the next one. That is one.
I'm always willing to volunteer as a taste tester so I can live out the closest thing to my dream, which is being a Food Network judge.
This is unbiased. This is my girlfriend. She grew up like the way we watch wrestling or sports or fucking comic superhero things. She grew up watching the Food Network.
So she has good taste in food, just not men.
Understated. She knows like all the little tricks and all that shit. She probably should.
Picture you would have.
What's up?
Yeah, I know. It wasn't your best day, Hope.
Yeah, man. It's for the haircut.
Why so sad? Such a long face.
She should have like gone to culinary. She could have like competed on like an Iron Chef. Like she knows all the nuances, the little tricks and all that shit. But she loves trying those things. She actually didn't like the Pops cheesesteak. She said it was too cheesy, which I said there's
cheesy.
no such fucking thing.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to be too cheesy.
Yeah. I understand where she's coming from, but I see.
Wait, the cheesesteak had too much cheese on it?
So she said the cheese took away from the flavor of the meat and the roll because it was high-end meat and roll, but you could only kind of taste the...
What kind of cheese was it?
With that one is whatever came generically.
Was it like American Cooper Sharp?
It was American or Cooper Sharp.
Was it okay?
It was not Whiz. It was not
If
Whiz.
it's not completely melted, the American, then I can understand that.
It was. They used a lot. It's very much like D'Alessandro's, where it really homogenizes.
I don't like when they.
middle.
I don't like when they
Like
put the cheese.
Almost.
I don't want the cheese on the roll. The cheese needs to be
This is
rolled in and chopped into the meat.
It was, and they used a lot of it. And she says it was too much. And I'm like, there's literally that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've never had somebody saying I have too much cheese on my steak.
That's why the tourist
joy.
places do cheese whiz because it's quicker. They don't have to fold it in.
Wait, no, I can defend that. There's like 50% cheese.
Once again,
it's like
it should be 85%. Everything should
like
be
my socks.
It's like saying, oh, by the way, my girlfriend blows me every other day. Well, you know, I'm not complaining.
I
about
have
it.
too much happiness in my life.
Too much blowjobs. Yeah. Delicious steak, loved it, great flavor, but needed like 2 slices left. This is coming from someone who loves cheese.
Not as much as me, woman.
I was looking up cheese subscription boxes 2 nights ago.
That's true.
My wife's the same way, Danielle.
I
call her cheeses. That's how much she eats.
I used to have a bacon a month. They would come in like different flavors of bacon.
So we get a cheese advent calendar every year. And fun fact, they will sell you one for the other 11 months of the year. Every month can be an advent calendar.
Every day, Holbrook opens up a piece of cheese.
Dude. Some bizarre ones, man. There's some that
comes with a laxative.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
I haven't shit in a week, but all right.
Next topic.
What we got?
Let's see. Oh, okay. Here we go.
Oh, this one was a fun, spicy one.
Oh yeah.
This was one of the Ridley Park pages.
Yep.
I gave Holbrook credit. I gave Holbrook credit because he really tried to get these people to come on and like air their grievances here.
I messaged both of them under the Delco Live name. We can see my thing pending for approval in this. This is a post to one of the Ridley Park pages, and it starts with, if you're wondering, we did redact everything. Attention landlords, do not rent to blank unless you want your place destroyed. This apartment is only a year old, never lived in. This is how they were living. Disgusting. And let me explain the pictures for you. It is crayon scribbled, kiss my ass, and I think a ball sack.
It looks like a butt or a ball sack.
It's
kind of hard to tell.
It's debatable if it's blood or poop.
Yeah.
It's poop.
Either way. Either way doesn't help.
There are additional pictures. There are diapers on the floor. There are scratch marks, all this shit. And you're just like, oh boy. And they said the people's names and then tagged some people.
Do we know what street it was on?
So this got really spicy. It's 184 comments when I checked it out.
And they shut it down, right?
But I'll get into it. 2 different previous tenants jumped in and they're like, this is the shit they fucking do. And so it's almost like this person was like revolting. So the person who was
wait, 2 previous tenants or 2 previous landlords?
And they're like, you know what?
For this person.
So they're saying the landlord staged this?
No, so I'll explain it.
Okay,
it's revenge.
So the person who was tagged and said, do not rent to these people, responded. And she wrote, since I blocked the one who posted this false information, no one knows the background of what the landlords were doing to me and my family. They kicked us out for no reason. The damages that for no reason, the damages that are done, whatever. They're saying they didn't do it. They kicked them out for no reason.
Believe that.
They were not from us. The maintenance guy who doesn't like us obviously was there and did some of the damages himself because we don't live like that. Never once had my kids taken. We don't beat them. My husband doesn't do drugs. He works very hard, and if anybody would like to contact me, you can message me on this profile, and we can handle it ourselves. But going forward, don't always believe what you see on Facebook. Then the original poster and landlord responded with, liar.
Yeah.
And then the pictures speak for themselves.
There's a backstory here that we don't know.
Yes. So next page.
Oh my God.
Right. So here we go.
All right.
This is a previous tenant who was in it before the person who rubbed feces on the wall. There are 2 sides to every story, but yours should be heard. The owners are shitty people. I know that for a fact. When they screwed me and my 2 kids over for a place to live. The lease was signed and then turned around and gave me shitty ass excuses. Completely unprofessional, screaming in my face for the keys when they were rightfully mine. I wanted no trouble. I was a young mom with children trying to get on my feet again. I left it alone and moved on. People don't rent from these owners. This isn't the first problem with them. Someone responded, obviously. There are literally pics you cannot deny, so you just
stop. Yeah.
Be staged. I'm just being devil's advocate.
Well, that's why I was kind of wondering. I mean,
they're going to paint. You know, they're going to paint.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, they didn't do anything of destructive nature that was going to cost a ton of money. Like, they did enough that you could...
Hell, they didn't do anything because, as it says, the maintenance guy left clear kid scribbles on the walls, Barbie shoes and diapers on the floor, and cig burns on the carpet, and stained walls from smoking cigs indoors.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. What if the maintenance guy's like some crackhead? He just hangs out there.
I want to know. Yeah.
I mean, people are crazy enough to do this, though. Like, that's my thing.
Stage, like,
let me ask you.
It's so tough on both sides of that, being a renter and renting out. But if I was a landlord, I would not be posting this because one, I would want to rent that out again.
Yes.
Right. Number two, I wouldn't want people to think that like this is the kind of shit that you go through when you rent from me.
Yes.
You're exposing.
That was actually going to be my
laundry.
question. That was my question. Like, who's more wrong in this situation? Like, how does that? Here's my thing: is how does that help you as a landlord?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Like, it's not like you're gonna get more money. It's not like the cops are gonna go, "Yeah, we're gonna make her pay double because."
And I probably know both of these people from Ridley Park. I mean, I don't know.
Do you think that the landlord was frustrated trying to get it out there, or
100%.
do you think they were just trying to get their side
No,
of the story?
No, they're frustrated.
This is the equivalent of somebody in the middle of a store and having an argument with somebody and screaming at the top of their lungs to bring everybody into the conversation.
See what you did?
Yeah. That's the social media equivalent of what that was.
Oh, the tenants absolutely smeared shit and wrote "fucking kiss my ass" and all that shit.
Or maybe not. It could be the maintenance guy.
It could have been. Let's not rule that out. The magic bullet theory.
Mike on Twitter saying common sense is a rare thing these days.
Do we know if there is actually a maintenance guy? Would
I have no idea who these people are.
Would someone who owns one property have a maintenance person?
Yeah, I mean
they could have a service that does it. Yeah.
Sometimes like these realtor companies, part of some of the things that they offer is like if you have an apartment or a house you sublet or subrent, they will take care of the renting, they'll take care of the payment, they'll take care of the maintenance, the cleaning,
$100 come in,
and then you get your chunk of the money. So yeah, you have people who handle that because unless you own one property.
That's what I mean. I think they own one property.
Well, even if they don't, my point is, as PJ just said, like, why in God's name do you put it out there?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That is something you keep like.
Yeah,
that's me.
Like I'm not gonna sit there because like if I'm gonna rent this place, I'm like, is that the wall with the shit on it?
Yeah,
like I don't know what's gonna be in the back of my head. You can paint over shit all you want. There's still shit under there, and I know it.
So they actually, if you go into that page, you know how you can search like the previous post on that person. They did post it up there for rent again right before doing that, and obviously the pictures were taken wherever, and like even before that post of like you smear shit on the walls. There was already people just talking shit like, "Wow, that microwave looks like it's from fucking Nagasaki."
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And by the way, it's like $2,100.
It would be the same thing ridiculous. For me, like airing out like a flag at the bar.
Yeah,
right. Like this person did this. Don't serve this person. If I do that, now I'm starting an argument and a fight. I'm
and you're looking like a nuisance bar.
The only thing I've ever done was something right. The only thing I've ever done that was anything like that was when someone took a shit in St. Patty's Day on the floor of the men's room.
That's pretty rad.
No, it was ladies' room. Yeah. It was funny.
It's funny. Yeah, that's not funny. I mean, that's not stupid. Like you're not like you said. What's going to happen? You bring yourself into the court of public opinion, and nothing good comes out of that.
Nothing at all. And you're asking for, no pun intended, more shit to come your way.
And I'll tell you, as a guy who's like regularly looking for a house to buy, like pictures like people put up. I went to look at a place in Prospect Park, and they had, and the place looked nice, everything was great, and I walked in and it looked like a frat house. Like first part, like wall paint was different color, the rugs weren't there. It was like hard or a floating floor, panel floor. Like,
do you think it's because realtors are just getting fucking lazier?
Well, like I don't know if they sold, like maybe they were renting the house then. I had a theory that maybe the people who owned it or who were renting it, they knew once they sold it they were going to lose their place, and they were like
sabotage situation.
And I think the owner or the realtor put it up used old pictures. Like I said, everything was different color.
Yeah.
Like the paint was a different color. The floor was carpet. This floor didn't have carpet on it. And the place was a mess. Like, does not look like a place that you're trying to sell.
Yeah.
I mean, I've looked at houses where they had plates piled up in the sink and just like food all over the place. And it looked like a flea market went bad in there. Like it was.
You got to vet people, man. Like, and I don't think people do enough. They do the wrong thing, is like credit and shit like that. Like, okay, you know how well they are at paying their bills, but you know, do they smoke crack on the weekend?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you got to really like. I love like finding places for people to live. Like, I want good people in my town. So like, someone's a patron that comes in my place and they're like, I'd really like to move and really park, and like, I'll search shit out for them. I'll put posts up, things like that. It's backfired a couple times, but I want good people around me. You have to vet people. Period. We talking about shit. That's right, Vandy.
Mike wants to know what's worse: shitty landlords or Section 8 housing. I've lived in both in Briarcliff.
Next to both. He's lived next to both.
Oh, I live next to
both. Section 8 can get frustrating. Briarcliff's one thing. When I was living in Lansdowne, it was rather frustrating because they would take those old Victorian houses and like, you remember, they're built to have like one family in there and like everyone has like 5 rooms. There's a lot of times where they would take, especially in Lansdowne, Yaden, where they would take a house and turn it into 8 apartments. So now you're taking a beautiful house, making it 8 questionable residences that probably is not safe. You're now doing 8 times the trash that comes out. You have 8 times the amount of cars. It really adds up when you add more bodies in there. It's 8 more people who could be causing a problem.
In my town, you need to have a parking spot for every apartment.
Yeah.
One
parking spot. As a guy, like I said, who's looking for a house, I've seen the reverse, which in some ways is worse. Where they taken a house that was a big house that was turned into, 3 or 4 different apartments.
Yeah.
Or they tried turning it back into one house.
Yeah.
And it was like, why is there 4 bathrooms butt up against each other? Why? I went to a place in Prospect Park on the where's that park in the square on the
9th Street?
Whatever. It was like right across. I'm like, oh, this is a nice location. The price is right. It's huge.
How do you know the name of the street? You can tell he delivered
pizza. Yeah. I'm like, this place is huge. This is perfect. I mean, look at it. I walk through it. First part looked like Picasso designed this house. Like,
no, MC Escher, man.
Yeah,
and the stairs into the stairs.
But you go upstairs to the where the bedrooms are at.
It's my least favorite word.
They're like, they have 2 gigantic redone bathrooms, and on the pictures, like, they're literally right next to each other.
You could take a number 4. You could hold hands while shitting. And
I mean, I can bang on the wall while somebody else is pooping behind me. Like, I'm like, what's the point? So to answer Mike's question, I actually have to say, I would imagine Section 8 is worse.
To the community, Section 8's worse. To the renters,
I've dealt with both, and I would say the Section 8 one, when I lived next to them, that was one of the worst because they just didn't care about it because it wasn't their place.
Yeah.
They literally would shit all over the place, like literally and figuratively. The shitty landlords, you can complain enough and they're going to get fines. Section 8 ain't going to get fines.
Yeah.
They're just going to get kicked out and get something else.
And also, the shitty landlords can own the Section 8 fucking things. And then there's
you kind of deal with both sometimes. Yeah. I mean, it's and like I'm not saying Section 8 is always bad, but I said I have lived next to some bad moments there. Trust me.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, no one was a shitty landlord. I mean,
cut the shit, folks.
Cut the shit.
Cut the shit. Next.
Dude, I've lived at apartment complexes where these are $1 million property management companies and they suck. Like if it's just a landlord and you have a Section 8 house with like 6 fucking things in it and there's broken glass and the grass is too long, that's one thing. But when you have $1 million fucking investment company, and I'm just like, there's actually like something on fire outside, glass everywhere, that's annoying. But
the
short answer is Section 8's worse than the town. Landlords are worse than the people.
And both are even.
Yeah, this is something Barstool posted out, and I kind of like how they do this shit. They put out
I can go through this if you want to, since I have a better view.
Yeah, they do a March Madness bracket. They post out like every Thursday, and it's always whatever. This one was something that hit home because, fun fact, when I did the interview with WHYY and NPR for Delco Day, they also had me sit down and talk about like the dissolution of if that's even a word.
The dissolution?
Yeah, like the demise, I guess, of
the evolution.
Yeah,
right.
Of the malls in Delaware County.
I digress.
They're doing a major like full-fledged like documentary style thing about the malls in Delaware County and the tri-state area and how they died. I mean, obviously the fucking answer is the internet and all this shit. But Barstool, one of the things I was talking about, the stores we used to go to and all that stuff, and I did a really good interview with them. But Barstool posted this, and I just want to hear what you guys think. They are saying, what is the best mall store? The best mall store.
Are we going to do this like real quick? Are we going to go through this?
We can do the brackets, or we can all just fucking read them out. And see
I'll read 1 through 6. I'll read the first matchup, and we all quickly give our answer. All right, Spencer's Gifts.
I think is number 1
versus GameStop. How GameStop number 16? I find that a bit of a low seating for GameStop, but we'll go with it.
Spencer's applies to more people than GameStop, and also in my mind, I know we did have video game stores in the mall.
Yeah,
a lot of the ones I'm thinking of weren't strip malls or standalone.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Springfield Mall had a GameStop, but when I think of a typical mall in the store, you say name one. Spencer Gifts comes
Spencer's up. Is the mall store when I think of it.
Yeah.
GameStop is not a mall store.
PJ, thoughts?
Spencer.
Okay, sorry.
I think it's a strong 1 seed.
The next one, 8-9 seed is Journeys versus Champs.
That's a fucking great 8-9. That's one of the best matchups I've ever seen. I am going. My God, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
I went to Champs more, but
Journeys I was going to say
so fucking mall.
I was like, Journeys is more mall. Champs is more where I would have gone in the mall. So I'm going to go with Journeys in this one. If you want to go straight mall,
I never give Journeys $1.
All right.
But I've given Chance a lot. I'm still going Journeys.
We'll finish on this bracket. So you got Journeys versus Spencer Gifts.
Spencer's.
Sorry, we'll leave it right there. Annie Ann's versus Discovery Zone. I remember
once again, fucking hard.
Yeah,
that's
I'm gonna go Annie Ann's because Discovery Zone I think is a little bit more smaller.
Stupid question is a guy on Delco Live. Do we have any other Auntie Anne's in this area that aren't in the mall?
You can buy them at the movie theater, I think. Or something like that.
So it's super mall by
I
default.
believe you can get them in Subways too, at like Walmart.
Yeah, it's either malls or rest stops.
Discovery Zone, we had one. I didn't know what it was. I just mentally think Discovery Zone is something like the Disney store, like whatever.
That's a millennial thing. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, Annie Ann's is mall as fuck.
Yeah, Lids versus Bath and Body Works. I mean, I've seen Bath and Body Works outside the mall, and I love Lids. I'm going Lids on this one.
Lids and Spencer's.
All right, so that's Lids versus Annie Ann's. What do you got for me? I'm going Annie Ann's, but
yeah, as a mall store goes, I mean, I got more of a chance. That's the only 2 things I'm buying in malls: a hat and a fucking pretzel.
Yeah, they're
nuggets.
But which ones are you more likely to buy, the pretzel or the hat? I'm gonna go pretzel. So sometimes you're a little short on change. Pretzel's more achievable.
I'm a hat whore, dude.
I am too. I ordered 36 hats online the other day.
Here's the thing:
36.
I have actively gone to the mall more than 30 times saying I'm going to Lids. And the Annie Ann's was like a bonus. If I walk by it,
you don't go there for the Annie Ann's, but you don't leave without it. Is that what you're saying, Holbrook?
Yeah, I'm going there for Lids. I'm leaving with Annie Ann's and a hat.
All right, so
I'm saying Lids.
All right, Lids wins that one. So Lids versus Spencer's. What do you got for me? Spencer's. Yeah, I think so. All right, that Spencer's is.
Yeah, they're located in Pleasantville, New Jersey, too.
Is there another one?
No, that's the
their headquarters is there.
Yeah. So Spencer's is in the final. So you got Hot Topic versus, which I'm not really familiar with, Dead Sea Lotion Kiosk.
Let's just throw that into like any
lotion kiosk, like some Eastern European person trying to sell me creams.
I mean, first of all, there's one entire end that is literally just fucking face cream stores and that shit. Hot Topic is a strong 2. Hot Topic is winning that in my opinion.
Yeah. Some people, let's see. Sam Goody, that falls into it, yeah. Currently, stores are defunct stores. Gotta have Sbarro too.
Both those
Sbarro's still around, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, didn't they close? Didn't they just close?
Nope. Because in the interview they were talking about they gave when that documentary comes out. I guarantee, definitely listen to it. They gave some inside shit. It's nothing bad against Sbarro's, but it's the way they're being treated by the property management companies. And they're like, it's a fucking wild documentary.
My uncle worked at the Springfield Mall. Like he ran the maintenance crew there for many, many years as a kid.
They suck because the floor in the movie theaters are never ever not sticky.
Well, I'm talking about the Springfield Mall. That wasn't that, but he does suck. I'll tell him that. But he told me what it cost to be in there. I don't know how anybody made money.
Sbarro is
you had huge cam payments, which is common area maintenance.
Yeah,
so you had to pay for your bathroom and all that stuff.
That was a question on a test I took today at work.
There you
I
go.
work in insurance.
You had to pay your rent, of course, and then you had to pay a percentage of your what you made. I said to them,
property taxes in cams now. You know that?
Oh, I'm sure.
So not only are you paying rent, but you're also paying the fucking property tax.
Because the property tax goes up. And listen, you're always going to pay for it. And then that means that store's items are going to go up because The person's going to pay for it.
Usually means they're like, bye, I'm done making cheesesteaks.
All right.
I'm saying Hot Topic.
All right, so Hot Topic. I think Hot Topic.
Hot Topic is the second.
Sharper Image. I always think of the Sharper Image versus Sarku, Japan.
I don't. Let's just say that's the Chinese food place.
How is that a 7 seed and Sharper Image is a 10?
Yeah.
You want to one thing is I think Sharper Image. I think of the airport.
Okay, they're in there too.
Which is a mall. It's a mall and an airport. I mean, that's what it is.
I don't know what Sarku Japan is. I'm assuming they mean the one Asian place.
Fix
like
this,
in there.
this mic. I keep getting a weird hissing sound.
Sorry,
guys. Yeah. Sharper Image. I'm going to go with that one. All right, Sharper Image versus Hot Topic.
Hot Topic.
All right, Hot Topic.
Hot Topic.
Okay. FYE versus Rainforest Cafe. I never really.
Nationwide, I think that's a great fucking entry. We just don't have those around
What
here.
does FYE stand for?
For Your Entertainment.
Oh, never knew that.
I did because I worked in Center City right near the one that.
How about FYM? For Your Mom.
Yeah.
How about that?
There
That's
you
for
go.
your mom.
FYE.
I'll go
Super Mall.
So this one's a tough one, actually. 6 and 11. KB Toys versus Barnes and Noble.
Are they still around?
KB.
Yeah.
They are?
Well, I don't know if KB still
KB's
is.
closed.
Barnes and Noble still has stores.
Barnes and Noble still has one in Springfield Mall, don't they?
I'm a book nerd.
No, they're in the shop. Aren't they? No.
Last time me and Carrie went there still was.
There's one in Broomall. There's one in Broomall.
There is.
I'm a bit.
My son tried getting a job there. I'm like, I didn't even know there's still a Barnes and Noble. Like,
there's
open.
absolutely still a when. Oh God, that was actually before the pandemic. Now that I think about it.
So Barnes and Noble versus KB Toys. I'm gonna go KB because I don't always think of malls with Barnes and Noble, but I get the point. I'm going KB Toys because I never saw KB Toys outside of a mall.
That's 69th Street.
That's
the
good
only
point. Good point.
69th Street on the corner.
And I don't see any Barnes and Nobles that are in malls now.
Yeah.
Sorry, KB Toys versus FYE. I'm gonna go FYE on this one.
FYM.
So FYE versus Hot Topic.
Hot Topic, but it's
close. So it's Hot Topic versus Spencer Gifts in the finals.
That's the hardest one. It's 1 versus 2, and they were really good to do that. Spencer's is the most fucking mall thing I can think of.
It is.
I don't know. Hot Topic's pretty close, but yeah, I'll go with Spencer's. I'll give it to that one. So that's
weird thing when I was.
You know what it is? Here's the deal. Let's talk about this. Spencer's versus Hot Topic. Cute girls went to Hot Topic. The only people who went to malls were cute girls and weird dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a weird dude. I'm going Spencer's.
Or weird dudes looking for cute girls.
I'm not gonna lie. So like the last couple times I went to the mall, and we're talking like 2016, 2019, 2022. I walked in and all 3 times I said, Hot Topic, fucking losers. What am I going to do? Go buy a Ghost shirt, maybe a Breaking Benjamin shirt. Walked in and came out like $300 later. I'm like, they had so much cool shit still.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is fucking great.
Got himself 3 vampire-shaped dildos.
And the reason I went in there is because I was at the mall to go to Spencer's to buy a beer bong.
Well,
because I said, I'm going to the store tomorrow. I don't have time for Amazon. I want a beer bong now. Who has them? Spencer's. And you can also buy some butt plugs.
I mean, I'm a young.
They have a whole section
during
of
my
sex
height.
toys. Both of them actually.
Yeah,
have sex toys.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so a vampire.
Spencer's and
a vampire dildo. They got them.
Yeah,
vampire dildo.
Yeah, they got them.
Does it suck the blood out of your hemorrhoids?
Yeah, I guess.
When was the last time you guys, literally, like off the top of your head, when was the last time you guys were at the mall, and what were you going there for?
Oh my God, I was probably, my son made me go there because he had to get something, but it was probably about 3 months ago.
3 months.
And again, do you guys remember going to the McDade Mall? Like when it was still the mall?
Yeah.
And you felt like you went 20 years back in time every time you walked through the
That's why Peter Jackson filmed The Lovely Bones
there.
Like,
Well, the Springfield Mall has fallen in that category for me now. Like,
of course it does.
It's scary. It looks sad. It looks like it just looks like that person they should have given up 20 years ago. Just never did it. When I knew it was bad, you guys remember the Disney store in the Springfield Mall?
Mm-hmm.
It's now actually pretty cool because it has all the Marvel shit.
Oh, I don't know. But before
I did get lost in there for a couple minutes. I was like, this is pretty cool.
Before this, then they had what they called the Brick Store, which was a rip-off Lego store. And I kid you not. So I walk in here, like my kid loves Legos.
They don't fit, Mom.
No, so they sell like pieces that you can't find.
Sure.
So there's a guy. People will come with buckets of Lego. And I guess they'll give you $5 a pound or some craziness like that.
Jesus
so people just dump. There is a kid sitting there, like right in the entrance too, like the worst place to put him. He has like a bunch of folding tables with buckets of
just sorting shit.
Just sorting it, like just this kill me now look on his face. Like
that's a meth head job. Dude.
Yeah, I hate. Do I really need money that bad? Like, look at my
We just
face.
close the store around them. Let them work.
Yeah.
Give the 3 to 7 a.m. shift.
I know some people that can
PJ,
do
when was
that.
the last time you were at any mall or the Springfield
All
Mall?
right, so I did go into the mall, the King of Prussia Mall.
Okay, that's different because that's actually still a hubbub thing.
Yeah, I saw Meek Mill there one time too.
Okay.
I was
Meek Mill's in the King,
Lord
in
and
King of
Taylor, and
Prussia.
I turned around and I was like, "Holy shit!" He was standing right next to me. I go
Was
there
he on a
to.
shopping spree and said, "Oh, you thought I finished?"
Dude, I'm a clothes whore. I like nice clothes, and I'll go and I'll splurge sometimes. Robert
As long
Grant.
as it says Dolan's on it, though.
No, just media, just media.
Okay,
When I'm doing media, I'm wearing Dolans all the time. So I'll go and I'll splurge on like some nice shirts and shit like that. However, I typically go to change watch batteries at the King of Prussia Mall.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a.
I used to. The only reason I went up there is because I used to break my not my Oakleys. What the other glasses?
Ray-Bans.
No, the more expensive ones. I'm trying to remember. Whatever. They had a store up there.
Glasses out.
Well, I hate it. So I got in an argument with my wife. She bought me these glasses like years ago for Christmas, and I said, "Oh, these are great. I love them. But why did you buy them for me?" And she goes, "Because you said you wanted glasses." I said, "I know, but I lose and break glasses so much. I don't want $200 sitting on my face at any point in time." But the one thing is that the store is
I did at Blue Turks at one time.
You didn't be fucking touch that one. Let's see.
Will West, you out there? I love you, buddy.
Bazaar of All Nations is the goat of all malls. Was that a mall?
Yeah,
a mall?
It was a mall / flea market.
Same argument. If what is Boost Corner? Whatever that answer is Bazaar.
See, I don't look at Boost Corner as a bazaar. Bazaar was its own thing.
Well, Bazaar is a bazaar, which would fall into a different name for a flea market in my eyes. It was just indoors.
Boost Corner was very bizarre lights, man.
I mean, if you think about it, if you ever go like to the mountains, they have a lot of old strip mall stores that they turn into flea markets.
Can I tell you my greatest Bazaar memory? I had 2 memories of the Bazaar. One, I lost a retainer at Brewer's Outlet, which my dad's buddy.
Did the monkey attack somebody?
My mother and I spent 3 hours going through the trash.
That's funny.
The other was there was a baseball card shop in there, and they had, remember those coin operated ones where you can like grand prize was blah blah blah. I won a Don Mattingly rookie card out of it.
Oh,
and synchronicity! This is when I started believing synchronicity. When I was 10 years old, I went to a Detroit Tigers game in Detroit. My dad's buddy was this millionaire, and he was like the Donald Trump of Detroit, and just a big builder. We go, they're playing the Yankees. Donnie Baseball's my boy. So I run over. I see 23 on the first base side. Run third base. I run over. He signs my ball. Go back. My first Kentucky Derby. My dad, same guy from Detroit, gave me a ticket to Millionaires Row. My parents had never been up there, so I went up there. They would always go for a month out there.
How old were you at this time?
17.
Okay.
So my parents would always go for a month. They go to all the racetracks, all the way out to Louisville, to Churchill Downs, and they would stay in the clubhouse. The clubhouse was posh too, but Millionaires Row is where like 4 of their like billionaire friends and millionaire friends would go upstairs on the weekend for the Derby and the Oaks and yada yada. So I fly out. I leave high school. I fly out in the afternoon. And my dad's like, you can drink if you want. I'm like, okay. So I start drinking, and I go out to Millionaires Row. Joan Collins is in the elevator.
Oh, Lord.
Going up with me. Millionaires Row opens up. Our table and our balcony was shared with Steinbrenner and Donnie Baseball.
Oh, jeez.
And I was shit-faced.
I kind of feel bad now. I had a Don Mattingly signed baseball bat, and I gave it to somebody. I feel like this is years ago before I knew you.
I love Donnie Baseball, dude. He was best.
I'm a homer. I don't collect that. There's only very few things. I have a Michael Jordan signed something, and that's about it. Everything else is Philly. I
just wish he got rid of those damn sideburns on The Simpsons.
Grady Shanky never won a ring.
Yeah, him and Nate Whitfield.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got this one. I might need to read this one.
This one's more of a serious thing, but I don't know shit about it.
Do you want me to read it since it's a little smaller?
I know it affects, a lot of people we've worked with and all that shit. So Collingdale just ousted their fucking police chief, and I'll read it because we're learning together with this. This is 6 ABCs. They're trying to stay as neutral as they can, I guess. I don't know. So Collingdale, Pennsylvania, the police chief of Collingdale in Delaware County, PA, is back at work despite a 5-2 vote in favor of his demotion from council members. The police union says the controversial vote against the chief, Patrick Kilroy, Tuesday night has no merit. Some of the same council members who voted him in as chief last December, so he's only 6 months on the job, also voted in favor of demoting him now. Mayor Donna Mateo Spadea along with 2
God
council
bless you.
members, say they support Kilroy. But per protocol, the mayor does not actually get the vote. During a meeting earlier this week, those who voted against the chief spoke about an officer shortage and excessive overtime. However, supporters of Kilroy claim his requests for hiring more officers have been ignored.
So why do they want to demote him?
Yeah.
So that's what I was trying to figure out. What is the actual problem here? This is a council.
This is his fault. He hasn't hired enough.
So we'll get into that. A council member then said this quote: "He's been making that request since January numerous times. He's asked, can civil services be enacted, to no avail. He's asked if you can hire part-time officers," said Councilmember Felicia Coffey. Some speculated Tuesday night that the decision against Kilroy was personal. The president don't like him, said longtime resident Dwight Green, who showed up to support Kilroy. "I think a lot of things going on in Collingdale with council are racially motivated," said Mayor Matteo Spadea. So you have a town. Yeah, you have a chief who got voted in 6 months ago. You have a mayor who supports him.
Is
the officers support him.
Yeah, that's what I know.
The chief is Kilroy's white.
Okay.
The mayor supports him. But
is the mayor white?
I don't know.
Okay.
But either way, the mayor supports him.
Yeah, but is that the race thing again?
I don't know.
You know.
I literally don't understand.
So they think there's council members who.
So I can tell you this much.
I don't get what the crux of the actual argument
when it comes to small towns and budgets.
Yeah.
80% of their budget goes to police force.
Yeah.
80%. So it's probably something pecuniary when it comes down to, hey, let's go, Jeff. I had a guy. Hope you win, pal.
We can make it happen.
Yeah.
We know a guy.
So it's probably something to do with some financial things and whether he needs more backing. It's a thankless job anymore, man. But they're not backed by unions, like a lot of times.
Who is it? I'm sorry. My thing is not to cut you off, but is it the chief of police's job to make sure there's enough police officers?
Well, if they don't have the budget to hire more, he can't.
That's my point. Is like they're complaining there's a lot of overtime, so that means there's not enough police to cover it.
So that's what it is. Is there was one additional paragraph where it said by population standards or crime rate standards, Collingdale is 10 officers short of what they should have, which is crazy to me because I feel like they only have 10 officers, right? It's still a small district.
I don't know. Really, Park's got a ton.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Clifton Heights has a bunch, and Clifton Heights is 2 miles wide.
We always have 2 cops on at all time.
Collingdale's 10 officers on staff under. And I think to alleviate that, he's saying we are asking for more to be vetted through us. We're asking for part-time officers to alleviate that. And I think the budget is being offset by asking the X amount of cops he has to do overtime to cover it. I'm sure the cops like the money, but the people writing the budget don't. Like,
yeah, it's probably something financial that with the undertones in the race cars being thrown out. That's just my take. I don't know.
Do you think the race car was there to kind of?
I have no idea. I don't know the story.
Well, no, I'm just saying. Like I always, every time I feel like that, I feel like that somebody's like, all right, I don't have another argument, so I'm going to throw the race car.
Because I don't know how race would actually come into it. So they brought him in December. We're only 6 months later, and now like it's going to shit under him. But it sounds like this is a thing that was happening before December. But is the plan to oust him for someone who isn't white? Like, I don't understand the actual
race.
So
he might not be white. We don't know what's going on.
To answer Mike says doesn't Upper Darby support these smaller towns, but that's not Upper Darby.
Yeah, no.
That's Darby Township, Collingdale, and all that. So it's not even part of Upper Darby.
Collingdale's just Collingdale.
Upper Darby would be Upper Darby, Drexel Hill, Clifton Heights. Yes. Am I missing anything? Maybe Alden.
Yeah, Stonehurst, parts of Alden, and then they'd be the backup for whatever. Stonehurst is Upper Darby.
Yeah,
Fernwood,
they have like a school.
The little towns and all that shit.
It's like Western Park.
I mean, Seacane, Primus.
Yeah.
But Collingdale is Collingdale, and then the backup would be from Darby Borough, Darby Township, I'd assume, Fallcroft, because they share a school district.
I just find this argument kind of stupid in a sense because I feel like it's an easy way to find out if, all right, are you trying to feather the pockets of you and your police officers?
Yeah.
All right, well, how many people who we had 7 cops on duty tonight in Collingdale. We don't need 7. You only need 5.
Until you do.
My point is like, can't you simply look at the books and say, all right, well, how many police on average do they have? You know, they're supposed to be, say whatever they say, the bare minimum is just got to be 4 cops, right? And they were at least 7 or 8 cops every night. So way over the average, correct? So that you can tell, all right, you're trying to feather each other's nest a little bit. But if you have the same amount of cops every night and you're within that average zone, and you still need the OT to do that, then that's not your fault. Like, again, it's like, all right, if I'm the training manager of a job and I got to make sure Holbrook gets the job done, they hired Holbrook, but it's my job to train them.
Sure.
It's not my fault that they brought Holbrook in or they brought not enough Holbrooks or employees in. So, like, that's my point. Is like
they're usually given how many they can have.
Yeah, it's a budget. Like you said,
Yes.
it's a budget.
It's like a fucking the representatives, like in the House of Representatives, you go by population, like demand and all that shit. I don't know. I actually did spend a good part of the day trying to figure out, because to me that article is like, here's the result. I'm like, what started that? Why was there a vote? Because to me that just says someone's been in there 6 months and it's institutionally gone to shit, even though this sounds like something that might have been around 7-8 months ago.
And you guys have Ring cameras?
Yes.
Do you have the Ring app?
Yes.
Do you get notifications?
I do.
I have this
limit. I limited it. Yeah.
Lost cats and dogs. And have you heard gunshots?
Oh.
That's
every yeah,
Facebook
pretty much.
page all the
Yeah.
time.
It's nonstop. And like I want to turn it off, but I'm like, oh, look at that kitty.
Yeah.
Like of course there's gunshots near Woodland. You know what I mean? Like, it's like crazy.
Oh my god!
It's not the 4th of July, so we all know it's not fireworks. Then again,
yeah, is it the 4th of July?
Go to February 7th in Clifton Heights. It still could be fireworks.
Yeah, I made a post about that. Shit about it. It was like, is it gunshot or fireworks? And we're like, well, it's 4th of July and you're in Garnet Valley.
Yeah,
I kind of think it's You on 69th Street, you can make an argument about what's going on.
Like
that's another one, Joe. What's that helicopter?
Oh, right, yeah.
It's the railroad, folks. They check the railroads.
It's not even just that. No. If it's close to, like, in Ridley Park, a place close to, like, a 95 or Blue Route, it's a lot of times a traffic copter, too.
That's absolutely one of my favorite fucking posts that is guaranteed 2 times a year is, I live in Ridley Park right near Boeing. Why is there military helicopters flying around? They look like Boeing made Chinooks. What is going on? Are we at war?
Bro, can I tell you how many people I know that wired cockpits down there that do not deserve to even push a broom? I'm telling you, we used to have the guy come in the bar. I'm not going to use the word we called him.
Okay.
And he told us one time, he's like, my kid's in Widener. We're real happy because you joined one of them crack houses. And we're like, wait, what? He's talking about a frat house.
Yeah.
Called it a crack house.
Crack house, frat house. Yeah.
He's like, oh, my wife and I are going down on a vacation down the Inner Banks. And
the Inner Banks?
We got a house, got a pool. It's got 2 jacuzzis. Like, and this dude was wiring cockpits.
To be fair, if there's an Outer Banks, there should be an Inner Banks.
Yeah. Inner Banks is it's the Temu version of the Outer Banks.
Smallest forehead I've ever seen on a human being.
Well, it's got that tiny brain.
2 fingers.
Jacuzzi.
Hold on, I'm not defending this guy, but there's been a lot of people I know that they are like savants, like they are good at this one thing, and maybe wiring cockpits is this guy.
I know brilliant people that work down there too, but like, I think they're up in the offices.
Yeah, but there are some people.
These guys
there are people at Boeing who do one job. That's it. And if you ask them to do anything else,
paper, not wiring cockpits.
One of my I'll just fucking air it out. I used to work at this place in Collingdale. It was a pizza shop. Dude from Lancaster came down, bought it. He just talked down on Delco about how we're all scumbags and all that shit. Treated us terrible. It was like this elitist prick, and he bought the place as a second job. He was an engineer at Boeing. The guy on the team that made the fucking Ospreys that turned the propellers to go up and all that shit. He lived in Delco for 3 months, talked shit on us, never drank, never did anything. He went to jail for pulling a knife on a 17-year-old girl he was stalking.
Huh. Some light stalking.
Because he had started doing coke and came out of prison as a crackhead and had to move back to Mannheim, PA, and is now addicted to crack and delivering pizzas at a Domino's. Jesus. We ruined him.
I read a book.
We ruined him.
I want to say
winner.
Ding,
ding, ding.
Crack dinner.
Yeah.
I read a book. I want to say it's Generation Kill or one of those, about the sandbox, and they were talking about the Chinook, and they were saying how it's like a dumpster with 2 big fans on it.
I just learned a ridiculous thing.
No, it's a dumpster with 2 fans fucking it.
I learned a ridiculous thing on YouTube the other night when I was trying to fall asleep because the girlfriend doesn't like the sound, so I just watch these videos of most of the graphics or whatever. The Chinook is the oldest aircraft used by any military in the world.
Wow, yeah, they use it in Nam.
Yep, 1951 it came into existence, and we're still using them.
Have you seen Ken Burns' Vietnam?
No.
Oh,
My Lord, is it good? I've
yeah.
watched it probably 5 times. It's like 8 episodes long.
I got.
Yeah,
What's
that
this
makes
on?
sense.
You could probably find it on Amazon Prime or something like that.
Done.
Is it like
I love these
post-
kind of things. Like I'm like my
Now, when I tell you, I get chills even thinking about it. The music, everything.
yeah. I'm like when it comes to history and war stuff, I get into it big time.
when did it come out? In the 2000s?
I don't know that. it could be old. I don't know.
Because his
Let,
baseball.
let me just
one-
explain to you how it opens up one of the episodes. There's a black dude from Boston. He's in special forces or goes into it then. And he looks, he's telling them, he's like, you know, my daddy told me, like, when you go to war, you're going to find out that, you know, it brings out the killers of people. And he looks right into the camera and he goes, I found out it's just finished in school. And it was like, oh, dude, the shit that goes on and like just how they just dumped dudes over there. Like, what are we going to do? I don't know. Throw another 30,000 more into Da Nang or whatever the hell it's unreal. Like, and just thankless. This dude's coming home, people spitting on him. Like,
Yeah.
like horrible. And like World War II, like it was
World War II was a reason we had to go stop that
yes,
shit.
it was justifiable.
This-
Did we get in it because we knew that we were going to get bombed? Maybe, you know what I mean? Did Roosevelt know that because they wanted to get out of the depression and shit? Like maybe, but I mean, there was a guy running around like cooking people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Stalin killed 50 million of his own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's thankless. And every war we've been in since has been just military industrial complex, like Eisenhower was talking about. Sad.
You know, and people with small foreheads wiring their helicopters.
Right. And we're going into one now again.
Yeah, here you go. Live from the Inner Banks.
Yeah. From the Jacuzzi.
The Jacuzzi.
I'm actually going to form a band called Jacuzzi.
This is a
Jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi.
Yeah.
I'm in a Jacuzzi over here.
No, those are the things you put your beers in to keep them cold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got a Jacuzzi.
This one's an interesting one. I really want to break this one down, Holbrook.
Oh, this one's fucking great. This is from Wildwood, which is, what does that have to do with Delco? Let me tell you, Wildwood's fucking Clifton with sand.
Yeah.
That's how we fucking do it.
Nice.
This is Wildwood past and present. This is a statue that just came out. It's on 26th and Pacific. I'll explain it to you right now. It's called It's So Tall. And it's a statue of a couple, I assume. And the female is behind the man as he's doing like the fucking Superman cape around her back. Basically, like if they're recreating the scene in Titanic where they're like, I'm king of the world. But the lady's behind the dude. She's a little bit shorter. And she's pointing, saying, it's so tall. And his right hand is wrapping around and grabbing her fucking butt. And it's just like, why?
I mean, this is what I would do to my wife when I just want to grab a little cheek. I get it.
Yeah. House, literally a block and a half from there.
And people are just wondering what's up with this. And I got to agree. And it's odd. Why is the hand like that?
I used to stay on
Pacific.
I used to stay on 21st in Atlantic.
And it's so her hair looks like turds.
Okay, well that's the art.
But I'm obviously looking at her butt because I'm a man.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. That like from behind, like from that picture, if it wasn't for the hair, I look kind of real.
It looks very real.
They drew, like one thing that really caught my eye.
That guy took a lot of time to make that butt.
She has panty lines. Like they went that detailed.
Yeah,
into
like
it.
I hope he's not her babysitter.
But the dude looks
the self-portrait of me and my daughter, like some creepy shit like that.
Like she from the backside is sculpted so perfectly. The dude looks like the Bob's Big Boy, but wearing Jinkos from like fucking 1997 Ozfest. Like they put so much time and effort into her. Look at her fucking feet and like the slippers or the sandals. It's great. And then he's out there grabbing her butt, looking like he just fucking came off a meth bender.
What's in her left hand?
What is in her left hand? You're right. Can you
that.
go back to the last picture?
Let me see if I can blow that up too. Let me give you an idea. Hold on. Oh yeah, this picture's better. Hold on 1 second. Let me blow it up.
Is it her phone? I think she's holding a phone in her left hand.
Is that modern art for you right there?
I don't know.
He's got good face too.
No, so she's holding his hand. He's holding her hand.
Oh, they're holding hands. Okay.
She have cornrows?
So it kind of looks that way, but I don't think it's meant to do that.
She's got like a Medusa situation going on.
So it's
a turd. Look at his face.
So it's a happy. Yeah, his face looks scared. But it's supposed to be like a happy couple looking at something.
Like he has pit stains. The detail on it is great.
Yeah, it's green. He's got the Delco green.
He has pit stains and she has panty lines. It's fucking perfect.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, it's bizarre. And
How long's it been there?
So they just said it's a temporary thing that just went there.
Temporary. Where's it going?
The plaque
Go to my bedroom next.
The plaque says 2010, so I don't know if it's a moving art piece or some shit or just made there.
Next to Kate Smith.
Yeah. I love this. This is like the grittiest statues to me. I hated it so much when I first saw it. Now I'm like, I adore this.
It's cute. Whatever.
Yeah, it's so tall.
Seward. My brother-in-law's name's Seward.
Seward? So like somebody forgot the T in Stewart.
Seward's
he goes by Chip though.
I'd imagine.
Wait, his first name's Seward?
Swear to God.
Wow.
This next one's a post by some place called Dolan's Bar.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so what's up with this? We got a new clock?
We were gonna talk about this. Okay.
Yeah, dude. Tell us about this clock.
So this clock
Did you save the clock tower?
Pain point. No, but everybody thinks that I had something to do. I didn't. I made posts about it.
So then you were a slacktivist. You worked.
No, I mean we work real well together with the town, like the borough, the business association that I'm in, the business owners. We work real well together. But this has been a pain point. We've had a clock that went up, I want to say in '87, which was our bicentennial.
Yeah. No, centennial because it says established 1887. So
okay,
they put up a 19
centennial. You're right.
Yeah.
So
is that when Ridley Park became a town in 1887?
I think so.
Okay.
So it stopped working in like I want to say 2000, and they couldn't fix it, and it was all
really.
Like, and bro, if I told you how many different things we had brainstormed about what to do with it, as far as like, can we make it digital? But everything was like $50,000 and up.
Imagine if Big Ben was digital, it would lose the aesthetic.
Yeah, but can I ask that question? Like, what would the difference of a digital and a regular? Like, does anybody really use it to keep time?
No, and you know what?
It's like the clock on the bank signs and stuff.
It wasn't a big deal to me because I'm not that close to the clock. But the business owners in the town was like if our fucking time's not right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's broken windows, broken dreams.
I hate that book.
So it was the clock that's in the median. Right. The median at the bank and all that.
So initially it was in front of Double Decker, and then it got moved back to on the other side.
And they didn't fix it during it?
No, they couldn't. For some reason, it was
like, let's just bring the broken clock.
Yeah, and I mean, it got to the point where like, my dad's got a bitchin' set of tools, that type of shit.
You
like
never know when somebody comes back in time and needs that clock.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, Marty.
Yeah. Fuck, man, we missed the opportunity when we did that Back to the Future shit. We were like, oh, it's 7:32 on fucking
So anyway,
what time was it stuck at? Does anyone remember?
I think it was noon or midnight. Anyway, we did a post.
I wonder if somebody slept with their mom to get that clock fixed.
I did a little fundraiser to help. Like, hey, the businesses want to chip in, like just to make it look like we're investing.
Just like the beginning of Back to the Future.
Save
the clock.
We got a great borough manager now. He's a young guy, Rich Tutak.
I can't wait till they vote him out 5-2 for overtime.
Who's that?
Nothing.
The borough manager?
Yeah,
he can go anywhere.
Collingdale.
He's my boy. Anyway, so
we'll make sure that
we shopped around. He did a lot of work on what to do, and they came up with that. And I mean, the thing is beautiful. It is not blue and yellow. One of my friends, Pat Waite, has been like shit posted everywhere. Like, it sucks. Why is it blue and yellow? Our towns are red and yellow. Like blah 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 blah. It's black and gold, but it looks blue and yellow.
Black
from
and
the
yellow.
picture.
Black and yellow.
Yeah, it's black and gold. But he's been posted everywhere to the point where it's like, dude, I had a black.
Did they hire an hourologist? Those are the people who fix clocks. I just learned that. But it works now.
I think it either came from Kentucky. I forget where. But yeah.
So
anyway,
you guys
we're
have
good.
your clock.
We look good. We got a little
Bridge questionable clock. Good.
Well, Bridge is still on schedule.
I will ask you this
for 2037.
Which bridge gets fixed faster, the Sellers Ave one or the one down in Baltimore that fell into the ocean?
Sellers Ave.
Sellers Ave will get built before that one. I heard 2028 for the one in Baltimore.
Bro, I fall into some conspiracy theory shit, but
put on the
that one
hat.
in Baltimore, bro, at the lowest traffic time of the day.
Yeah.
The black box went missing there's 5 minutes missing.
What's it because the power was out?
7 o'clock in the morning the next day, Biden is in a press conference saying, everything's fine here, folks. Don't worry. We're going to fix it. We're going to pay for it. The driver of the boat was Ukrainian.
Oh.
They're trying to hide something there.
It was
It
registered in
could
India,
be,
though,
like-
right? But
It could be like one of those like white hat false flags. Or like, all right, everybody get off the bridge. We're getting rid of this shit. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
the
It's a major card.
Well, don't worry, guys. We're gonna pay for it. This sounds like something like I crashed into your front.
Gulf-
I got buddies who think the 95 one was.
was it a Gulf of
Conspiracy.
Tonkin thing?
Yeah, that got fixed in days. That was pretty
and
crazy.
That's what the thing
Yeah.
is, and it's also the most Republican part of the city.
Mm.
And that guy, they have no idea where the driver. They don't know anything about his past. Steven Starr. Oh, they got it fixed by Steven Starr lunches, and they just built it up in fucking 4 days. Fixed 95.
I could do a whole tin hat episode with you.
Yeah, and they
Everything you tell me is very.
Some.
they did just announce the other day that they were like, this shit was leaking before it crashed, which means that like the first spark would have lit it on fire. And it's like, weird.
I think it's probably sipping a margarita somewhere.
The driver.
St. Thomas,
Just
yeah.
being quiet, being kept quiet, I should say.
Yeah, they took the first draft of the Wildwood statue and they burned it up.
And the
truck.
fucking gall of them to do that on Delco.
How about was it Delco?
That was 6:10 at night.
shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It happened the night of 6:10 into 6:11.
Still didn't beat him out in the
I
news.
think you guys did it to keep everybody down in Delco.
Yeah, right. You're not going back.
And we'll do it the fuck again.
Yeah.
Now you
Until
can't
we break
leave.
50,000.
Now you guys can't go anywheres. Here we go. Here's another one of the Ridley Township page.
All right, so this one was I really did not do well at redacting that name. Ridley Township. PSA, parents, please make sure you know where your children are. Myself and another mom had to stop on 476 southbound to pick up a boy possibly 10 to 12 years old riding his scooter on the highway. We're talking a Razor scooter. He was carrying a fishing pole and going to meet his friends at the park. Somehow he ended up on the highway from the Bullens Lane Woodland area. I'm glad that it was us who stopped for him and not some weirdo. Also glad he did not get hit. Traffic was crazy.
Would you
I like
guys ever done that as a kid?
Nah.
I would be like, well, I better turn around. Like if I started, like if I say wandered through the woods and I came out and then there's the blue route in front of me, I'm like, I'm gonna turn around.
I won't even.
And I like how this guy's first worry was that a pedo was gonna diddle him and not the traffic, and not getting hit by a
No.
car or some debris flying off of the car.
Nah, that shit free.
So Bullens Lane Woodland going south. That's the bottom of it.
Yeah, like he walked on, and like that's where they're doing all the construction too, isn't it? Or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's funny you say that because I was thinking about that today. Like that whole sidewalk area is blocked off.
Yeah, but isn't that right where it actually picks up into the covered walkway where you can walk around that area?
Right, but it's down now.
Oh.
So that kid was probably just trying to get around it.
Yeah. I'll cross the
Gotcha.
street here at
Yeah,
476.
That's all it was.
That's a rough one, man. I won't even pull over on the highway sometimes.
Yeah,
Like,
that kid lived a good. Yeah.
My friend's little
You live
truck
in-
broke down there one time.
You live, you learn.
Hey, buddy, you gotta pick me up.
I've seen on the Vine Street Expressway. I've seen some people on like bikes, and I get it. You are only going about 8 blocks. Like when you get out there, I'm like, that is still dangerous as fuck, man.
I was in Philly when the hurricane came through and Vine Street filled up.
Mhm.
Oh,
Oh
the-
yeah.
Wild.
Bro. I'm like, what are you doing? Dude's jumping in there with surfboards and like, bleh, bleh.
Yeah, I know. Like
I did jump.
It's all sewage.
I did jump.
I just
into the,
imagine, like I remember, like I've had people who've walked through there, like stepped in a puddle, and like, oh my god, my shoes are ruined. But people are diving in there and
You
thinking,
jumped in that day?
No, I jumped in the 420 when it flooded the one time.
I
It
did
was
jump
videotaped
into,
tonight when the
I did,
Mercedes crashed.
I did jump into the creek as it overflowed in Clifton during Floyd.
Yeah,
420 by McGee's.
by McGee's. I was at McGee's when the storm came and it flooded. And dude, that shit it recedes fast, but it fills up fast, man.
Like my hair.
Because I went down there, we videotaped it live. It got like an insane amount of views. But yeah, I was like, this is funny, and then I'm like, I'm gonna die, and I'm like, this shit went from ground level to like,
Was it
because
warm?
it's up already. So I'm like, this is like
Yeah.
9 feet high already. It was gross, and I was like, this is funny, whatever. I'm already wet, and then like, this is not even a joke or like a Delco Live like fucking thing. Literally, like it's a Suboxone wrapper rubbed up
Let's
against my
go.
leg. I'm like, God damn it, I should get out of this.
Let's go. I mean,
mean,
I keep telling Joe, you got to do a happy hour whenever the truck hits that bridge until they
Happen again
clear the
today.
bridge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
happen again today.
you should have a
Yeah.
special.
I texted him.
There should be a special that you know that you put out there every time this happens.
Yes.
From the time it ends to the time it begins and ends, this special runs like a really hard to beat
I'm working
special.
on it. I'm working on
Call
it.
them bridge beers, dude.
Yeah, there you
Bridge
go, Joe.
Yeah.
beers.
Bridge
But you need
beers.
to have a certain special though, like that you can't just get any other day. Not like a bucket of beers like during
That's
the
a good
Phillies
idea.
game. There you go. No, Citizen of Clifton Heights page. Always good for a laugh.
This one's great. Remember, this was posted on June 22nd, in the middle of the summer. There are children screaming on Crestwood. It's after 11
I'm
p.m.
looking to see if they're okay, person.
Yeah, right?
I heard children laughing and having a good time. Can please you people know where
At
your kids
11
are?
Look at
p.m.
the happy face side, the
At
laughing
11
side.
p.m. on a Friday in the summer? How dare they?
It's past curfew.
Church is tomorrow.
It's getting bad. Listen, as a guy who lives there, it's terrible. Like
With the children
yeah.
screaming?
No, the people.
What are you, John Wayne Gacy's
no,
house?
no,
Like,
the people complaining.
oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, it's terrible. It's every time. They're not from Clifton. They're
What
not
was
really-
the town
they're
you
not-
used to
they're
love
not really
going on to
Clifton
the,
Heights. Not real Clifton Heights.
their page a lot all the time? Was it Lansdowne?
No, Clifton's was the best.
No, it was like a.
Oh, the
it's
Lansdowne one where the guy was.
Oh, Lansdowne's was the same, where they said the C word was Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
No, it was something to do with like raccoons or something.
Yes. Yeah. Remember the guy was. He was like not keeping him as pets, but like feeding them or something. People were getting upset.
Nah.
That was the same page that the lady got upset because the guy shoveled her snow for him.
Yes.
Yeah. Lansdowne.
Yeah.
The Lansdowne Pride page.
Pound for pound.
That was it.
Yeah.
Clifton was always like the most same one. Then Ridley got really good. Lansdowne has the most extreme ones, but they're like sporadic. But yeah, the fucking the how dare you shovel my sidewalk thing was ridiculous.
You guys ought to do an episode on areas of Delco that don't look like Delco. For instance, like Lenai,
Okay.
that little mill area in Clifton.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
sounds
actually, they're
super
cleaning
dope.
that up
That could
now.
be Massachusetts.
You
in a
know, the
heartbeat.
funny part is that so the woods across from the mill area, they're like that's for sale now. They're trying to
Yes,
put
I
like
heard that.
condos or some shit there. Would be way
Or-
too packed there.
I
I grew up right
actually-
around the corner from
I
there.
was actually talking about this the other day, like oases of Delco. Like
Yeah.
we're talking like nice areas, but has one spot that's fucking super Delco. Like Newtown Square. Is it Delco? Barely. But Florida Park, my God, basically just fucking
Florida
Florida
Park,
Aston. Fucking what was the other one? Swarthmore, Strathaven area, and all that shit. It's like a little hoity-toity for me, and then fucking Garden City hits right in the middle, and you're like, "Fuck, that's Delco."
I mean, how many times have you gone like for as long as you lived in these areas that you're like, I've never driven down that street.
I
I've
just went
never-
through Swarthmore the other day. I went through down 10th Street, so I've never been down. It's
Yeah.
a mile from my house.
I know. I just did that recently because the street was closed down. I'm like, never been down the street before.
Yeah.
I
And
feel
also,
lost.
my wife's one of these people too, who says she's from Swarthmore, but she's actually from Swarthmore Wood.
Swarthmore
But she has
Woods, yes.
Swarthmore mailing address.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, where'd you go to high school? Strathaven? Oh, no, Ridley. Okay.
Yeah, right.
She's like, shut up. Shut up.
But I grew up on a street.
I'm
named after a
Steph
university.
Dolan. You'll love it. Right.
But did you grow up on like Yale or Michigan or one of those streets?
I'm
Raymond Circle,
Oh, okay, never mind.
which was
Does she call you Lovey?
I love it.
Yeah, Steph.
You know, it's funny.
Lovey.
Everybody calls her at the bar now the Duchess.
the Duchess.
Yeah,
The Duchess of Dolan.
yeah.
That's hilarious. And it's funny. My wife had a run in for the first time with the Ridley Park page. Because for those who don't know, so Clifton Heights, they're putting up the middle school now. They're breaking ground July 1st. They weren't really sure about this, and Clifton Heights for all the years, the fireworks and the 4th of July is a big thing there, and they kind of had to wait too long to book the fireworks, and because of the 4th of July falling on Thursday, the fireworks for Clifton Heights is actually on Saturday because of they couldn't book it right away. They had to wait too long. So we always attend the Ridley Park one too because she always loved it. So she went on the Ridley Park page and said, "When is the fireworks this year for Ridley Park?" And people got on her. Are you from Ridley Park? You can't come to our fireworks.
She doesn't even go here.
Like I'm like,
I'd love to know who the people were.
I have to pull up the post for you. But I'm like, when I went there, I've been there a few years now. They have people selling stuff.
Yeah.
And doing things. So you do not want economics?
Oh, there's 10,000 people there, and there's only 8,000 in the town.
I was like, why wouldn't you want the
and
economics?
half Ridley Parkers just stay in their homes and watch it.
Exactly. Well, I mean, Clifton Heights. My house was right behind the field, so my parents would always throw a huge 4th of July
Exactly.
party,
Yep.
and that was always a thing. I mean, I never in all my years until I started doing Delco Live and we did the music for the fireworks at Clifton Heights ever went into the field.
People are weird, dude. They're so weird.
I'm like, why do you care where she's from?
Yeah.
And then the guy, she goes, I just want to know if they're gonna. She said, like people are trying to be smart. Like, she goes, when are the fireworks? The guy's like, in the sky. I was like, she didn't say
No, that'd be
where.
where.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't say where.
People are
For you, get the fuck out of clock. That's
Yeah,
when.
yeah, exactly.
It's
Like,
unbelievable.
I'm like,
dude.
why wouldn't you want people there? I don't get that. Like,
I'd
that's
lose my shit, especially if it was for my wife.
Do you get a lot of like at Dolan's? I know
The Ridley page is definitely the most territorial of the
Oh
pages.
yeah.
And where it's at by the lake, like, because we used to have our studio right across the way from you.
Mhm.
I sat there actually one year and watched it from out front the studio.
You can see some of it.
Like, do you watch? Can you get a good view of it from Dolan's at all?
From our front door, you can see some of them, like the big ones, but not
A lot of people come out, check it out.
My mother used to have she was in the apartments right next to the bar, which are like 4-story, and she had a great balcony. We could watch it from there. But the owner of our park next to me has a house right on the lake. He throws a big party every year.
Mm-hmm.
The people usually do parties, just like.
And you know what? They do a great job. Like they even put the those paddle boats or whatever you call them, pedal boats, in their lake, and people go up and down there. Like it's actually a fun time. I'm like, really, dude, you're gonna be a d-bag about
Ridley
this?
Park does a great job, of little like events and things like that.
And it's a nice place. Actually, I looked at 2 houses because I love that little
Because we
lake
keep
area.
it Ridley.
Are you
Ridley
still
like
looking
my
at that
pappy
house?
and my grandpappy.
I actually have to go look. I think Friday.
All right, tell me off air what it's going for. I'm interested.
All right, I don't know actually.
To know,
I have to
obviously,
pull
the
up on
house.
my phone.
One
I
of the
think it's
townhouses
it's
going
above
up down the street from me, too.
4. It's like I don't know 4.
Where my house is, 2 houses down is going up too.
I saw that. It's on your side of the street too.
Yeah, it's 2 houses.
I like this one. I like because it's on the corner and the driveway's off.
It's a beautiful home. That was Doc Callahan's house back in the day. He had the dentist office that is right next to Borough Hall. That looks like it's an old like I want to say it was a Bell building or something like that. Telephone. That's where his dentist office was, and he lived there at the end. But they lived in that house that you're looking at now, and then the Paps had it. He was
a very nice house. Like it's a little older, but it's very nice. And
there's a hole in the basement that you can hear like water running. Like
I think you hear the screams of my enemies
stream or something.
Oh, that sounds like it's not going to be a leak one day.
I saw on the Ridley page they were talking about that. They were really mad at Callahan when he left because he smeared poop on the wall. Wrote yeah. And like Barbies all over the floor.
Oh, that's hilarious.
God bless Danny, by the way. Bless Danny Callahan. Love him to death.
What's next, Alan?
Let's see. That would be we did that one. Oh, this one. Sorry, looks like yesterday was my birthday.
So this one I put on there, and I had to super redact this one because Delco Restaurant Review. If we want to talk about hostile for no fucking reason, this is a page where you cannot.
Hold on, so much shit on the Clam Tavern.
Yep. So this is a page.
To me, you don't know shit.
Where if you say something negative about a place, you will be told to get a job there. You're a piece of shit. Whatever. You're the worst person in the world. But if you compliment the place, you will get told, well, you don't even have a good palate. This other place is better. There's almost no window posting on this page. That's why I love it. I believe we talked to one of the people. I have the record of being kicked out and let back in the most. It's like 8 times. No, of the Delco Restaurant Review.
Okay.
It's just something about how pound for pound, I just have to drop the C word when I comment.
Does Victor Fiorello own the RR? Is he the admin?
He's one of the admins. He is one of the admins.
I like to meet him. I've never met him.
He's nice, man. He was on our episode. He answered everything truthishly. I still think, I'm just going to talk out of pocket. I think that some of his endorsements might have, some kickbacks.
Heard that.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious when he shows up wearing 3 pieces of merchandise and then promotes all 3 of them. And then he's also writing articles of how great they are, sponsored ads. Whatever. Yesterday was my birthday. There has been a lot of praise for the Clam Tavern. Bonnie and I drove down for dinner. It's about an hour drive. That was a commute. I don't know what you all...
An hour drive, and they're posting on Delco Restaurant Review?
Yep. I don't know what you all rave about. It sucked. The baked clams were good but gritty. I got broiled seafood platter.
Which is one of my go-tos.
I never saw crab imperial served as a crab cake. Hardly any crab meat, mostly filler. Fish fillet, no taste, half raw. Scallops, half raw, no flavor. Shrimp were okay. Bonnie got stuffed shrimp. She did not like it. 1 beer, 1 iced tea, $104. Second time there in the last 2 years. We did not like it 2 years ago. Gave it a second chance. 2 strikes, you're out in our ball game. Never go back.
All right. Number 1, you drove an hour to go to a place that you didn't like last time. You're an idiot.
No, I don't believe any of that.
I don't believe it either. This guy doesn't like Tony or the clam or something. This person is here's my thing is, I've known Tony for years, and I'm not there because I know the guy. Places down the street for me. That is my go-to restaurant for when I want something good.
Did you work there, Al?
I did actually work.
Why don't you apply there to work there?
No, I worked there when it was.
Well, if you like that place, you have no fucking.
I actually worked there when it was lumps. That's that's how old I am.
Yeah, that's what it gave me afterwards. All I did was make lumps.
When did it become the Clam?
Well, it was 2 things before it was. So, I'm sorry, the Clam. So the guy owns both the Clam and the Broadway. It's been the Clam for a while, but it was bought out by the guy turning the Clam. At least 20 years now. It's almost 20 years because I was just about 21 when he bought it. I think. And the Broadway, which it was the Cork and something Bar and Grill at one point, and then became the Broadway when he bought that. One thing I give Tony a lot of credit for, he prides himself on what he does. He reminds me a lot of you in that sense. Like you guys, like you said, go do it right or don't do it at all.
Yeah.
And like I'll tell you, it's not cheap. It's not the cheapest restaurant in town.
It's not like overly expensive.
But it's not. Nothing's cheap. Tell me anything that's cheap anymore.
True.
But my point
is, Whopper is $8.45 right now. By the way.
Jesus
you used to not be able to spend more than $5 for a value meal at McDonald's. Now it's $12 easily. I just took my kids there. It was ridiculous. But yeah, like you're gonna spend, like, if you and your wife go there, you're gonna spend, if you have a drink or two, it's about $60 a head easily.
Which isn't bad.
It's normal, and it's seafood too. Might I add? It's not like it's a cheeseburger.
It's a blast from the past. Okay.
Yeah.
Places like this are American continental cuisine. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You either if you ate it, if you're old enough to have experienced what restaurants are like back in the day, and they were all like that. Good restaurants were like that. Then you enjoy it because it's nostalgic to you, right? You don't see Crab Imperial in fucking restaurants anymore. You don't, unless they're a blast in the past like that. So it's either you like that or you don't. If you're going thinking you're going to legal seafood Delco, you're not, right? You're not going to McCormick and Schmick's Delco. You're not. You're experiencing something that our parents used to do when they went out to dinner back in the day. You guys ought to do an episode on like old Delco establishments, like the T-Bar or the Log Cabin or the Crab Tavern.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That would be a great episode. Anyway,
as a guy used to make Crab Imperial and crab cakes for all these businesses back in the day, there really isn't a giant difference. Like,
no,
Crab Imperial is a crab cake before you.
All.
Yeah, it's more creamier and it's like a dip almost more than it is a cakey thing because they use, the trick was the Japanese breadcrumbs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Panko.
Yeah, panko.
Delco Restaurant View always has their like child of the month, right? At first it was that place Dino's in Briarcliff where they were talking about their club sandwich and all that shit. Then it was Wolf's and they really helped them like push it off there. Then we had the dude Eric's Pizza and all that stuff. And Dolan Jim's got like a big push from there. The Clam Tavern is essentially like bulletproof in there to me. Like that is the one thing. The equivalent of someone saying I hated the Clam Tavern is the equivalent of walking into the middle of Harlem and yelling the N-word.
Yeah.
Like that person had a bold statement to go in there and make that. And just, I mean, not even being a homer, I will,
but you can get a bad meal anywhere.
You can get a bad meal anywhere. I can tell you the Clam Tavern, it's always been great to me, and you leave full. Yeah. Like it's like Fogo de Chao, like fucking a challenge. It's not even a meal; it's a challenge to me. Where I'm like, I will eat.
I do respect the fact that they went back a couple times, though.
Yeah. That's why
I've always been taught that give a place 3 chances.
Well, number one is I never go to a place when it's new for the first 3 months. I really don't. Unless somebody tells me it's just that good, and I'll give it a shot.
Sure.
Because you got to let them work out their bugs. And how many times? And this is not usually restaurants you deal with this as much, but like pizza shops and things like that. How many times you went to a pizza shop and the first month it was open, it was great. Then like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months later, they got cheap on the food.
No, their systems go down.
Yeah.
Their management isn't as good as they claim to have been in the interview, shit like that.
We bought the best cheese in the world, and like we bought questionable cheese.
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
I don't even know if we can legally call it cheese.
We bought this dairy silicone.
Yeah. It's Ches. We call it Ches. But I mean, listen, you don't have to like something. I get it. And maybe this guy really didn't have, maybe he had a bad experience and drove an hour out of his way and had a bad experience. I still don't believe that. You're telling me in all the where are you coming from? That there's nothing
coming from like an Iron Pigs game or something. They're like, stopped on the way home to Sharon Hill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that's my thing is like you're from Delco.
Yeah.
if you're in the Delco restaurant review, you don't go out of your way
Yeah.
to review it there unless you're trying to.
Nonsense.
And let me ask you a question: as a bar owner, as a restaurateur,
As a proprietor,
entrepreneur of Delaware County, like with the reviews, and I know you're going to get good and bad no matter what. Nobody's going to make everybody happy. Like when you look at that type of review, does that seem like somebody who's vengeful, like trying to purposely make somebody look bad?
Or so when we started doing our own food, like I've subletted the kitchen out a lot at the bar, and it's always been hanging over my head. Like
I do miss the octopus tacos.
You're a chef. Like why aren't you doing your own food? And my father always instilled in me, you're here to make money, right? So it's either I want to be working the kitchen all the time, or I'm not going to make money off it, and I'm going to lose a ton of money. I found a really happy medium recently, but I've always feared the reviews, right? And thankfully, the reviews that we've gotten on DRR, which have been maybe 4 or 5 of them, were all fucking banger. I might have had one questionable, like meh or something like that was in the comments, but as an owner, you dive into that. I know some owners that don't look at it at all, and I know some owners that
die by it.
Yes, and a lot of the times, like this person here, I would think if this is legitimate, if it's legitimate, the claim has had the opportunity to fix their problem with them, right? Like, and I'll tell you right now, as a business owner, especially in the hospitality business, the ones you fuck up the most are your biggest opportunities for great customers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me ask you this question. I don't know if you remember this, but a couple of years back, the stingers on the
100%.
waterfront had the maggot issue on
100%.
That
was a management failure as far as, and it was either that or it was sabotage.
Sabotage.
And I thought it might have been that too.
Okay, and that was kind of my idea too, in a little bit. But
if they went out with maggots on it, we're talking, and I talked about this a lot. We're talking about at least 4 people that saw that plate. Like you're talking about the line cook, maybe 2 line cooks. They might have a midsection.
It's like
plates the fries,
like the Central Philadelphia
expediter. The server. Right. That's 4 people right there. Right. Now, what they claimed happened is that there was maggots on bacon that was stored, and a lot of places don't refrigerate bacon, and they don't refrigerate butter. Right. And butter, fine, cool. Bacon, you got to refrigerate because it's a protein.
Cooked or uncooked?
Cooked. And what they'll do is they'll put it on top of, let's say, a hot line, and they just grab for it and they throw it on a.
Oh, you mean when they're using it, they don't keep it refrigerated, but like at night and stuff, right?
Well, that's the thing. Sometimes they might forget to put it away when they're breaking down the line. That could have happened. I personally think it might have been sabotage. I think it might have been someone else who's like, fuck.
So let me ask this question: looking at the picture, were they cooked maggots or were they uncooked maggots? Like, I mean,
they were live.
So obviously, you didn't put the bacon in the pan to heat it up, and the maggots survived it, right?
No, but a lot of places won't even heat bacon up that they're putting on a burger.
They won't even just.
They'll cook it. And they'll put it in like a 9 pan or something like that, and then as they need it, they throw it on top of the burger and it goes out the window.
I remember the day of, someone had commented and said that they were some sort of lettuce larvae.
I heard the lettuce thing.
I'll tell you another thing too. Applebee's, a lot of chain restaurants that serve a lot of salads, they get gecko heads all the time in their salads.
Yeah.
That's the thing, huh?
Because they chop them down and they fucking don't check. Yeah.
And most of the time, your food poisoning from restaurants are from produce.
Yes,
because
I've heard that.
Migrant workers that don't have the facilities to take a shit or a piss while they're harvesting things. This is all gross, but this is the industry, right? This is the Kitchen Confidential underbelly type shit. And they'll harvest a head of lettuce, because they just took a shit in the woods, and they come back and they're touching it, and all you're doing is running cold water over it. You're not going to get rid of E. coli.
Yeah.
So.
Well, never eating a salad again.
I mean,
no, just kidding. I'm
like you said, the gecko heads. That is actually a thing. We encountered that at 2 places I worked. Pizza Hut, when we would get the wings that came in bulk.
Is that like when you get an onion ring in your French fries at Burger King?
Burger King. I mean, at Pizza Hut, you'd be shocked at how many times a chicken head shows up with the wings.
I've heard the chicken heads thing coming in like wings and
I'll tell you another thing I can't stand are these health inspections that the Daily Times is putting out.
Oh, where they're talking about the.
But I guarantee it's probably the majority of their viewership.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It sucks. It makes me really angry for an industry that's been on its knees because and since COVID, that now they have to put up with having everything, which every single place that in the world could have 5 violations anywhere.
So
is there?
any
All right, let me
place.
ask you this question. Like, in your eyes, there's probably certain violations. Like, all right, let the guy fix it and be done with it. Is there certain violations that are so egregious you can't?
Oh yeah, of course.
Like,
uncooked chicken.
No,
oh,
just how you store food. If you put your produce underneath your proteins, you know what I mean? Like
oh, so you know, like the chicken's dripping onto
exactly.
the produce. Yeah.
Shit like that.
So
There was a place
Rancid food in a refrigerator or a walk-in.
Well,
no excuse for it. It's laziness.
what was the place years ago that got in trouble because they had a busted I guess a walk-in and the refrigerant was dripping onto and they were serving I think their burger patties or whatever it was. They were serving like refrigerant fucking cheeseburgers.
Biggest cost in a restaurant is refrigeration.
Yeah.
It's fixing that. I have an ice machine right now that I bought a year ago, and I've replaced the compressor on it once, and I put $10,000 in this fucking machine since I bought it.
How much does that thing cost?
I mean, that was installing it, that was having it serviced. That was
okay.
$10,000. It's a nightmare.
So I have a question that's very specific to Delco, and tell me. I only know part of the story, obviously. I only learned this the day after Super Bowl. I took off, went to a bar early, right? So is there now, I guess with the addition of Delco having a health department, is there now a second layer of health inspections?
No.
Because two people came into the bar and started like checking the tabs and like people were like berating them. I'm like, don't fucking yell at the health inspector. And they were just like, they're not the fucking health inspectors. They're bullshit. They're like fucking frauds. Like, fuck these people.
Well, they're not frauds. This is what happened. There was a change of guard politically in Delaware County, right? So the one party put in a health department. Okay.
Yeah.
So most of the towns or a lot of the towns already had their own health inspection people. All right.
Oh, so it goes by town.
If they're state certified to have a health inspector, and that health inspector was they're up to snuff with all their paperwork and they're doing their own, they could keep theirs, but Delaware County was saying they couldn't. So what they were doing was Delaware County was sending their own people out to towns like mine that already has theirs, and they were coming in and doing health inspections at the tune of $400 a pop.
Yeah.
Just to set precedent.
Okay, that's kind of what was hinted to me because it was the day of Super Bowl, so a lot of bartenders worked the night before. I was with a lot of bartenders, and like they were berating these people. I'm like, it's like fucking yelling at your driving teacher during a driving test, and they're like, no, they're not fucking. Fuck.
It was a major lawsuit.
Lawsuit.
And
they were
the towns that don't have Delaware County health code to answer to are not in the newspaper.
That's what they said. They said they can't post anything. They're not fucking real.
That's right.
And they were like,
well, no, they are real.
Yeah.
But they can't post in a town. So most of those towns have already now won their lawsuit that should have won their lawsuit, and Delco cannot go into them and say, all right, we're going to inspect you now. That's all over and done with. But there was a year or two where they would come in and we were instructed, like, just call the town and tell them, even though they would start going through your shit and doing all that. You know what I mean? It was tough to deal with, especially during the coronavirus. And now you're dealing with more bills, $400 bill. Am I paying these or am I not paying this? You know, that type of thing. And it was rough.
And the whole reason that department is there caused the coronavirus, where they're like, oh, Delaware County doesn't have one. Like, we're basically just siphoning off Chesco or Monco or whatever. And it's just like, what the fuck does the health department even do?
I don't know the politics of it all. And I really wouldn't even get into it if I did. But I mean, it's another one of those things where, like, you know, it's like state versus federal. You know, who's in charge?
So a small, not 100% Delco, but kind of Delco news in some ways. Villanova, consider that Delco?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, so sports world, but it's funny in some ways. The Brooklyn Nets have traded Mikal Bridges, which was a Nova guy,
our pick,
to
76ers.
Nope.
The Connecticut Sun.
Nope. The New York Knicks, who now have
3 fucking.
Wow.
Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, and Dante DiVincenzo. They are officially the Nova Knicks.
How about that one dude who went to Villanova who's now homeless?
Mike Nardi. Oh,
Dante.
Yeah, Dante. Oh,
that's so sad.
Yeah, that was
a great team.
Was out there trying to save him.
God, is that sad?
As someone who works at, I mean, I'll fucking sit in there. I fucking hate the job. I work nights part time at a Villanova bar, and it is only the Villanova students, and they're not real people. They just aren't.
They
like,
don't
Yeah, if you
count.
cut us open, we do not have to see them organs. They're not real. It was disgusting. Number one, I get it. Most of them are from the rich suburbs of New York or DC or
Yeah.
whatever. So when the Knicks were playing the Sixers in the playoffs, the fact that they were selling out the bar and actively rooting for the fucking the Knicks, and they're like, yeah, it's the Nova Knicks, both of my teams, yay! It's like, my lord, I literally just, number one, 80% of those kids are future rapists if they aren't right now. Like, they're the worst fucking kids. I hated it. I fucking hated it. And I was like, if someone wants to come in here and start punching this
I
kid in
actually
the ass,
got mad at Villanova for posting Nick's highlights during that.
They're not real. Like, that school, we got to cut them out. Now, the Jay Wright era is done.
I actually did cut them out after that.
I want to like a Catholic school from this area.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but Jay Wright, like he said, Jay Wright left.
The era's done. The team sucks. The women fucking team sucks.
Once they started posting all these great things when Nova or Knicks were beating us, I said, you're an idiot. I mean, it's one thing saying
they are like a pseudo like Ivy League school.
Yeah,
they think they are.
Like Swarthmore.
They think they are.
They can suck a fat one.
They think they are.
We'll blow through these last couple.
The kids are so frustrating. I get they're fucking stupid children or whatever, but like,
it's like Duke Northeast.
The amount of times where they're just like, I love being here in Philly. I'm like, it's fucking Bryn Mawr. Like,
yeah, you're not in Philly, dude.
Or like when I was working Parents Weekend, the people were like, I left my car unlocked. I don't want any of you Philly people to steal my car. I'm like, I'm the biggest criminal you're gonna run into out here. But like we were talking about
where'd you park your car?
The reason I put Salerno Tire up here is we were just talking about the Clam Tavern, an old school established place that fucking is like does it the Delco way. Salerno Tires hooked me up a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
I had a flat tire, a real bad one. Bought one like an idiot.
He was living out of that big tire.
586.
Yeah. So I went. I got the tire. My jack was broken. It was a total fucking disaster.
Yeah,
I put a post down online for recommendations. People recommended Salerno tires. Everyone I talked to, Midas, your fucking any of these other ones, we're just like, well, you need to buy 2 tires. You need to buy 4 tires. You need this whole thing and this whatever. It's going to be $400, $500. I'm like, I have.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch a woman over that.
I just need you to put it on the rim and put it on there. They're like, trust me, call Salerno. It's like talking to a fucking Delco. Yeah. It wasn't corporate. It wasn't Walmart. It wasn't Pep Boy. Called him and said, I got a tire. Can you put it on the rim, put it on my car? They're like, yeah, that's what we do. It's a tire place. And I'm like, can you do it today? They're like, yeah, it's a tire. Bring it in. And I was like, oh my God, you're a hero. So I went down there.
Yeah, brah.
Yeah. And they're like, this is the tire. We're just going to put it on. I was like, okay. And I'm like, I want to give you guys more business because you guys were so fucking helpful and great. And like, you weren't corporate. You weren't these fucking stupid regulations that make no sense.
Yeah.
And I was like, can I buy another tire?
We don't know if this tire is going to fail on you, so we can't put it on because it's not ours.
We get held liable for that. That's my favorite line.
I think one of my favorite lines of it is I was like, I want to buy another tire just to give you guys some business. Like, I don't want to just slip you $30 for this on. I want to buy something from you for helping me out. And I was like, do you have any? And they're like, tires for an 04 Malibu. We're in Derby. We have plenty of those. Yeah. And I was like, okay, great.
Sir, that's all we have.
And they're like, it's not going to match your Walmart one, but it'll be fine. And they did it. And it took 8 fucking minutes.
Yep.
Wow.
8 minutes was barely $100.
I like how you put the picture up there where you only see half the number.
No, I don't know. Dude, but it was just so refreshing to talk to someone so fucking Delco after seeing all these, like, I'm not going to say like Midas and all that shit's a scam, but like, it is annoying. Like,
you know what?
I have a tire.
I tell this story all the time, but I'll tell you one that truly is a scam. Tires, etc. I don't care. You can suck it. You can suck it real good because I almost punched a woman dealing with tires, etc. Because the lady was a real see you next Tuesday bitch. I had enough. Like, I was just going in there to get my tires rotated and my oil changed before I went on a vacation. And there was a nail on the tire. It was right in the middle of the tread. They could have plugged it and moved on. And she's sitting there trying to sell me 4 new tires.
Yep.
I said, listen, I know how this works. Oh, we don't make commission.
But your oil filter's got a little dust on it.
Bullshit. Yeah, she wanted 4 new tires, air filter, oil change. Why don't we do a tune-up while we're in here? I mean, she was up to like $8,000. By the time I'm like, dude, I'm about to go on vacation.
Could have just gone to Salerno Tire. Would have been fucking $18.
This was a few years back. Not the best part, but so I fight with this lady. I said, I'm not talking to you. Get out of my face. I am not talking to you. I will talk to anybody right now. I will talk to the guy at the McDonald's over here just to get my tire fixed. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
So she walked away, and she's like, She comes back. She goes, "Listen, I'm the manager. I'm sorry we had a bad, experience." I said, "Just replace this tire." And I said, "You know what? Replace the 2 front tires. That's it. That way it's even to a point.
Yeah.
And then do my oil change and be done with it." So I get it. I go and pick it back up. I drive directly from behind the to go right on the pike. As I turn my tire, my car starts like all over the place. The jack wagon didn't they just hand tightened.
You had one job, bro.
Yeah,
right.
Bolts. He didn't.
You had one job.
You're a tire place. Put on the damn tires.
I'm like, "You're gonna try to sell me something now? I'm like, "You dumb bitch." I'm like yelling at her across the room. I was so mad. I will never deal with them again. That lady was a freaking scumbag.
I hate incompetence, especially in corporate.
My tire story actually goes back to PJ a little bit. So my tire went flat at the Stanley Cup, or the Delco Cup, sorry. I parked there, was hanging out with some people, came out, it was flat. No one popped it. It wasn't the fucking ridiculous parking lot. It was going flat to begin with.
It was slowly killing
I came out
itself.
2:30 in the morning, and I'm just like, I'm not changing a fucking tire, especially on the slant of that parking lot. I'm like, I'm just not doing it. I'm just going to Uber home. And I was like, on both sides of the cup are tire places.
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm just going to wake up in the morning and call one of these tire places. Both of them are closed until fucking Monday. I'm like, motherfucker. So, whatever. We ended up doing all that shit. So I was back at the Cup recently, and the old owner, who knows you, we were talking about Bill McGlone. We were talking about your windows.
Oh, yeah.
And then he was talking about how he's just like, yeah, it's great that they have windows and all that shit. We get a complaint every so often about how there's no windows in this bar. I was like, well, what do they want to see? The fucking 2 tire places that won't fucking change my tire? Like,
Golden Mile, man. I never understood it, like what the property taxes were on that place.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's at the Stanley Cup. It had to be fucking.
You think it's that bad? I mean, I have.
I remember when because I worked on it when I was
remember the carbon place in the corner.
Yep. And
Jesus.
I worked on when they expanded up the bungalow. I was one of the laborers that worked on it.
Godfather, Frankie Donna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember because Frankie he won like the $50,000 lottery or something like that.
In the world. The greatest dude in the world.
And I knew him for years, like for all that, family friend and all that. And that's when they added they call it the Sky Lounge. I think they called it at the time.
I actually really like the Sky Lounge.
So did I.
Except for the view. They're like, you can see Philadelphia. I'm like, yeah, behind the Mattress R Us billboard.
Yeah.
What was the name? What was the name of that store?
What?
There was a billboard, and it was for the fucking furniture place that was off of
no, there's a billboard above the.
What the fuck was the name of that store? I will chug this beer.
The beauty salon place.
No.
The beauty supply store
above like Hidalgo and Shoes and Phillips. It was a billboard for the furniture place that was in the back of
Romans.
No. You know how you go out of Brewski's and you make a right down the SEPTA path?
Oh, the secondhand one?
No, it was like firsthand, like a Delco Bob's Furniture. What the fuck was the name of that place?
I probably passed by that.
It wasn't the Dump. It was something like the Dump.
Oh, yeah, it was. It's back by St. Eugene. It's down that street.
Not near St. Eugene's, on the other side. Like the back of it is like Central Avenue, Clifton.
Dump.
I think that was a Dump.
It closed and it was going out of business forever, and like they actually had really good deals. But that was the billboard that was blocking the view of Center City from the bungalow, and it's gonna eat me alive. But what's the name of that fuck that it only went out of business maybe 8 years ago.
Frankie was larger than life, man. Like he had a mother who was 95 years old and she had dementia. And when he bought his house in Springfield, his beautiful home, he took her. I forget what church it was, and he pulled up into the church. He goes, "Here it is, Mom." And she's like, "How's your wife gonna clean this place?" Like, just fucking with her. He was the best. He was a beaut. Every St. Patty's Day, he would take a limo and just get tanked, and like take everybody from his place and just go to every Irish bar. He married Jackie Duke from Duke's Tavern.
Oh shit!
Yeah. And my dad told me they had like a week-long wedding. It was incredible.
I missed the bungalow. I'm one of those Cliftonites.
So what is it now?
It's called Illusions.
It's an illusion that it's a nice place.
I've actually seen people coming in and out there, so I actually have to stop in there. It's one thing. You know those places you say like you pass by 1,000 times, but you never go in or go up.
Are they doing anything with the second and third floor?
I think at first they were actually using that for like a banquet hall because
that was the club license up top.
Yeah. So what they did is there's a house behind the bungalow that they knocked it down, and they actually made that all a big parking lot. And I think that's when they expanded it and made that kind of like an event center or a banquet hall. I don't know what they're doing with the Sky Bar or whatever they call it now. But I've seen people coming out, and there's actually been decent reviews about the food in the Delco restaurant review about
They
it.
are on
It was a
DoorDash.
great sports bar. The bungalow was a great
Oh
sports
my God,
bar.
the downstairs,
Great basketball bar.
best paneling in the world. I don't care what anybody
Yeah.
says.
Dude, I can picture his office. His office, when you went in the second floor upstairs, it was to the left by the bathrooms, and he would go in there, and it was just loaded with like old whiskey boxes and sports memorabilia, and he just held court there all day long.
One of the nicest, like one of those giving people too.
Oh,
Like, yeah,
he was the biggest gift giver.
yeah.
God, I loved him.
So
He'd be like the kind of guy like found $50 on the ground because he was also very like he had sometimes luck.
Oh yeah, big gambler.
He'd be like, oh hey PJ, here's $50 I found on the ground.
Yeah.
There's no good reason. Who
He'd
gave it to?
scoop anybody up in the bar and like take them on a trip.
Yeah.
Like, he was just a great dude.
Please answer this in the form of a question, PJ. Sort of the Pennsylvania Dutch version of
Scrabble.
Span. Yes. This made Jeopardy
It was
the other
Jeopardy
day.
last Wednesday.
Yeah.
You ever watch Scrabble being made?
No, I don't
It's
want
not
to.
as bad as you think it is. They literally dump pork into a big vat, and they put water in it and cornmeal, and it's stirred around with like a big butter churner paddle.
Funny thing is,
poured into molds, and then they slice it.
the funny thing is, I was at the store the other day and I was buying breakfast meat. They had the scrapple there, the Haberset.
Yeah.
But they also had the Rapid next to it. They had Rapid Scrapple too.
So they're owned by the same
Oh,
company now. You know that?
Yeah.
They are. Yeah. They were. Yeah, that was the whole goal. So we were trying to have Haberset outsell Rapid down in fucking Maryland or whatever.
All right, Holbrook, you ready for this one?
And they're like, we don't care.
Yeah.
You want to read this or you got it?
By the way, the place was Sofa Source.
Sofa Source.
That was what the big billboard that was blocking the view of the
Gotcha.
club. This one is something
So fucking good.
I didn't understand what it was until I fucking realized it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. So this is, they call it regarding Delco Woods. And this is Joe Holden from CBS 3. And he's really
find a bargain at that and really bark about that.
That's the greatest thing I've ever heard, and I agree with him.
I fought one too.
He's a spectacular fucking source for Delco news. He's like CBS's Delco guy. It was called Delco Woods, and I didn't actually pay attention to it at first. I was just like, oh, what's he saying? Like, there's an area that we're calling Delco Woods. I did not realize Delco Woods is the name for the project that's overtaking the old Donguanella grounds.
Yes.
And they're trying to make it essentially a long-term psych ward.
Yes.
So there's some hubbub about people trying to say they don't want that and all that shit. But I just wanted to let people know that's apparently the working name of that. It's going to go O'Hara, Delco Woods.
Oh, that
Wendy's.
Yeah, like they were supposed to build a big like
Donguanella.
Yeah, but that whole thing
sounds like a Halloween horror show.
Right. Right. When I heard Delco Woods, I thought it was like Swarthmore Woods. I'm like, oh, what area are we calling that?
Well, they're supposed to build like townhouses and businesses on there, right?
Apparently, they're trying to make it a fucking long-term psych ward. Basically replacing, they mentioned it.
Isn't that what Delaware County Memorial Hospital is supposed to turn into?
So they're talking about this is actually going to replace the Norristown State Hospital.
Oh.
So they're
well, that was the whole thing. When Delaware County Memorial Hospital shut down, they said they were going to make it a psych ward, and that was going to replace the Crozier one. Crozier shut down for a short time, and the government forced them to stay open.
Yeah, because it was the only one in the county.
I actually, my business, I had to deal with that. I freaked out at an ER doctor. I had to send a patient to
302.
Well, not 302, but they said they were feeling like they were having it. I said, well, you should go to the crisis center and talk to somebody, and they did. They went there. I said, as soon as you get there, have your significant other call me, and I will then call and talk to the doctor and let them know your background. So they do that, but they said they went to the ER. I said, no. I said, the back part. You want to go to No, they said they went there, and they told them to go to the ER. So I call up. If 15 minutes went by, I'd be surprised.
You might need the ER before you get sent to a specialized fucking...
No, you don't. That's bullshit. Not when you're recommended by a physician's office. So I call the ER to track him down. I get this doctor on the phone. They said, oh, yeah, he already left. I said, how did he already leave? It's been barely 15 minutes since I talked to his wife. The hell are you talking about? And he goes, well, I talked to him. I told him a couple jokes, and he seemed okay. I said, what are you, freaking Patch Adams? Like, are you kidding me? I said, you even asked the guy about his background?
Patch Adams.
I was like, do you know this guy's background? And then I started explaining to him. He goes, oh, makes sense. I said, well, now I see why you're working at the ER at 2:00 on a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
And I hung up on him.
So here's I mean, go back to Delco. I have two things coming out of this. Delco Woods, the whole project. There's obviously going to be some locals that don't want this, and my argument would be, how is, besides maybe this isn't criminally put in people. This isn't people who like lost it by a judgment of fucking insanity. How is it any different than what Don Guanella was when you really think about it? It is people who have a mental deficiency that need fucking around the clock care going into the same fucking spot.
Can they beat me in basketball?
Oh, jeez. We're going back to that 10 years later.
Yep.
Yeah. That kid? You ever see that kid that does that?
What?
There's a Down syndrome kid that doesn't miss.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about.
He's amazing.
Yeah. No, I was talking. There was a story I told years ago when we first started. No,
I don't think that can fly in 2024. No, I just don't think that story can fly in 2024, Al. I don't think it can.
I'll tell it off air then.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I think that's an area where they wanted a Wegmans to look fancy, and in true Delco fashion, you wanted a Wegmans and you got the mental institution.
Yeah.
You got Arkham fucking Asylum. That leads me to believe. I'm like, if it's so. Do you remember Norristown State Hospital?
Yes.
It was kind of like out in the middle of a fucking field behind the draft horse and towards Pop.
Yeah, I got a one ball, one-eyed cat from the grounds there. Swear to God. My dad loved him. His name's Gus Gus.
One ball, one eyeball?
One ball, one nut.
So it was isolated like in the middle of a field. And, not like fucking walls or anything.
Well, you have to have space in case they get out.
Yeah. So they have that there.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, what are they going to do? Go to the cemetery? Like, I mean, I know there's a school there and all that shit, but that also led me to think, Al, you went to O'Hara.
Yes, I did.
Did anyone fucking walk to O'Hara when you went there?
Walk?
Yeah.
Very few.
Like, Bonner, like 85% of us walked. We were.
I mean, think about it. You have to get off on you have to cross over a little bridge over the highway to get off if you go off the side streets. If not, you're on Route 1.
So undergrad
or Springfield Road.
No one actually walked it.
No, I mean if you walk there, you literally.
Did you take the bus?
I did.
Okay.
Well, first year, and then I drove. But I mean, the only time I walked out there is because my girlfriend lived down the street, and that was it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, if they fucking escape, like
I'm going to tell you, every one of these hospitals in Delaware County are going to wind up becoming rehab facilities.
Yeah,
every one of them.
Well, always room for it here.
I mean, these hospitals are gone, bro. They're gone.
And it's because idiots drove it into the ground too. They did it all wrong.
People use them as emergency rooms instead of fucking hospitals.
Well, also the hospitals started charging because you went in there and got a Band-Aid, it was a $2,000 ordeal.
$75 for a Sprite for your upset stomach. Meanwhile, patient care or patient first or whatever. It's just like, oh, they can do all the dirty work for $31 and most of the shit's covered.
And the other thing is that they did wrong, I can tell you because I work in the industry, is they do not work with their community well. And we're not just like, oh, well, we're going to support the local baseball teams work with the community well.
They didn't fucking pay their taxes.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's on top of it. But I'm talking like, for instance, still to this day, I refuse, if I can get away with it, to send a patient for an MRI that's in a hospital. I could send Taylor Hospital 10,000 MRIs.
It's all specialty places now.
But if I send it to them, I will never see the report. And if I call them, you already sent it. I'm like, well, then you sent it to the wrong number. It's a fax. Here's the fax. This fax has been I've been here 20 years. It's been the same fax the whole time. I said, I used to be a block and a half up the street. I could have walked down and grabbed the MRI and came back. And I still didn't get it. If you are not part of the Crozier system, or if you're not part of their
think about it. Surgeries are even done in surgical centers now. Like everything is specialized. You have to do it that way. If you go to a hospital, you're just fucking.
It's like building.
Unless it's a teaching hospital.
It's like building it. Crozier started billing themselves as a teaching hospital.
For what?
Bullshit. It is like it's like building
Jeff,
it.
Right?
They were the trauma
back in the day.
Who, Crozier?
Wasn't it under Jeff's umbrella at one point?
They were under Christiana for a short time.
Oh, that was it.
That didn't even go through. That was almost went through, and then
Christiana was a great hospital at one time.
Yeah, but see, the problem is if you're not part of their clique, if you want to call it, they treat you like garbage. So why would I want to? And if you send somebody there, they would pull them away from you as a patient. Like if I'm sending you a person to have to get an MRI done, you would do it gladly, make your money, and walk away, right? No, not them. They'd pull you away from them, and then they would send you to their guys who would do nothing for you, and you get lost in the city. I mean, horror stories I've heard.
I put my mother in a Crozier, like probably 3 months before she died. She was having like heart problems or something.
Mm-hmm.
Put her in Crozier emergency room because I didn't want to take her to Taylor.
Sure.
Taylor's good for stitches, broken bones, that type of shit. That's it. I put her in Crozier. When I tell you, she sat on a gurney for 36 hours in a room that was ice cold with no fucking cable.
Dude,
they didn't pay the bill.
Crozier treats old people like garbage.
All it was the same commercial played 30. Thank God she had dementia. Every time she watched it, she's like, that looks like a nice man. Every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That looks like a nice. But I mean, imagine if she didn't have that.
Yeah. Like I don't know if you guys can see, I had throat surgery there many years ago.
I'd be stealing opiates out of the fucking.
Well, that's what people do. Yeah.
Remember our fucking Station of the Cross thing where the station was they had an upset stomach, went to Taylor Hospital and died.
Yeah. But
of MRSA.
That
was the ending of our story.
I know great people that work at that hospital. I know great. My next door neighbor down the shore is a GI doctor.
It's like Wawa. It's like Wawa. The employees are great.
Like, guess what? Sucks. All the good ones leave. Right. All the good ones leave within a couple of years.
If they can.
Because they're good. They
a lot of them get stuck in they're content with where they live and they don't want to commute.
I had this throat surgery. I kid you not. Of course, they put you out. They do the surgery.
Widen it.
Yeah. I was stating 2 dudes at a time, so I got to make sure. No, actually, it was. My throat was getting widened. Like I had so much extra tissue, I couldn't breathe right.
Okay.
And I was getting the surgery for.
The good old Glen Olden Gluck Gluck.
Yeah. Apnea surgery, sleep apnea surgery.
Okay.
So I wake up like in a stupor.
You were a child with sleep apnea?
I was in my 20s.
Oh, I was too. My tonsils touched.
Really?
Touched. They were the biggest they ever pulled out of.
Who were they touching? No. But I woke up in a stupor because just coming out of it. I looked down and my IV was on it. Like I'm gonna try to show on the screen. It was like this, straight up and down, like a right angle. I'm like
a lawn dart.
Yeah, and I look at it. I look at her and I wake up and all I remember.
Blind man do this?
It was an older guy. It was a nurse anesthetist too. It wasn't just like a orderly or anything. And I woke up and I'm like, I looked around and I could barely talk. And I'm like,
he had the world's smallest forehead and he said he was late for his job at Boeing.
Yeah. I said, I'm like, who the fuck did this? Like I could barely talk. I'm like, who the fuck did this? And the guy goes, oh, I did. I'm like, you fucking suck. And I just like pass back out. And I wake up and it's like perfect. It was like somebody must have came in and fixed it. Man, I will tell you, I had the worst experience, except for the nurses that I dealt with there.
Nurses are great, dude.
They were great.
I won't let a doctor give me a needle. I only let nurses do it. They're so much better
Doctors
at it.
don't know how to give needles.
Exactly.
They haven't given needles since med school.
Exactly.
Yeah. Since they first did their first year of rounds or something at the ER. That was it.
When you get smoking hospitals. Jesus.
Every time you watch Rocky, that's what I think of. You see them. Yeah. You see smoking while waiting.
We had a guy named Jimmy used to work at the bar. He's a cleanup guy, and he had a little issue.
Jimmy the cleaner? I know him.
Jimmy had a little issue with smoking some substances every once in a while, right? But Jimmy, by the way, Jimmy
fingers.
It was just ammonia.
Jimmy had his car stolen by a prostitute one time.
Me too.
Had a case of booze of ours in it.
Oh.
And in the Daily Times it says, Ridley Park man has car stolen by overweight prostitute. He went back to her for a second trick.
Oh, he hired the prostitute.
Yes.
Oh, mine was just,
and he went back to her for a second trick. Anyway, Jimmy has his stomach issue.
All right, Jimmy, I'll give you
the best.
I'll give you a 50% discount, Jimmy.
I'm not going to say his last name, but he was the best. Anyway, he goes in for like GI surgery or something at Taylor, and we go down to visit him, like a bunch of the guys from the bar. And he's like, man, I got to smoke a cigarette or something in here. So he's like, I'm going to go in the bathroom, right? He goes in the bathroom and smoke a cigarette, and he's got a drain. The smoke's coming out of the tube on his bed and coming up onto and they throw him out of the fucking hospital.
They like really just throw him out?
Yeah. They're like, sorry, buddy, you're gone. You got to figure this out on your own now. You're a hazard. You're
how long was this?
Like smoking.
How roughly long was this?
10 years ago.
Okay, that's why you could do that then.
He was the best. He was the best.
I like how he went back for round 2 with the girl that stole his car.
I'm honestly impressed.
He used to,
all right, Jimmy, I'll give you a 50% discount for round 2.
He used to hang at the Vines all the time in Southwest, and he told a great story. There's a guy down there named Bobo who used to bartend. And he said, Bobo,
of course
Bobo got his name. Bobo got his name from wrestling the Bear in Atlantic City.
Oh, Jesus.
The Bear had no claws, right?
Yeah,
but Bobo, like, somehow, like, the Bear fucked him up. And the Bear's name was Bobo, so they all called him Bobo from that point forward. So Bobo's bartending, and this band's playing. And the guy comes in, and it's the owner's son of Divines is playing in the band. And the guy sits down at the bar and goes, and they're playing. And he's like, yeah, they're really good, right? But it was like, yeah, they're real good. And the customer says, man, nepotism at its best. He goes, man, they play all kinds of music.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, fucking bar life is great. I couldn't give it up. I could not do it.
Loaded beer for $20.
Loaded beer? What are you talking about?
Oh, it was I assume he's talking about the guy.
The guy did it for $20. He would load the beer for $20.
Is that my Nick McGrath? Yes. At a guy. Flannel Fest this weekend. We just talked about it. Yes, he would load a beer for $20.
That's funny.
And when I was in my bad state, I used to give him a call at like 11. He'd be like, "I'll be right in for you." And he'd serve beers.
I feel like every bar restaurant had that guy. We had
every bar's got another guy that comes in the morning and does work just to tinker around.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There's always that one dude.
We had when I worked at Lumps. I was saying that earlier. I worked at Lumps. We had Mickey the dishwasher. Mickey had a real high. That's why we call him Mickey. His name wasn't Mickey. He had a high Mickey Mouse type voice. I can't even try to pretend it's how high it was. And he'd sit there and he'd happily he would not. He worked for like $4 an hour, and he was probably in his 60s, right?
Food and beverage is a land of misfit toys.
Yeah,
man.
But he would do a phenomenal job as long as you let him drink when he worked.
Of course.
Like he would be one hand cleaning, the other hand he was drinking his Bud Heavies. Like he was happy as a clam. But he would go on every November 1st to right up to Thanksgiving. He went on his bender. We didn't even put him on the schedule for all November because we knew
you can do that.
Yeah,
he would not. It was bender time. That's what we call it. It's bender time.
Do you remember the sketch? It was on Mad TV where the fat white guy would play Kenny Rogers.
Oh, one of the best.
Yes.
This is Kenny Rogers' jackass.
Remember where he used to like pee himself?
Yes.
All right. So I used to work with this dude in the city. He was a sous chef at the time, and he's actually he owns a very big place now. His family owned a very famous bar in Philly, and now he owns it. Anyway, we used to go out drinking, and after our shifts would get done, it was this really high-end restaurant we used to work at, and third beer in, he'd start the Kenny Rogers and just pee himself there at the bar. And we're like, dude, does he even know he's doing this? Right? And they're like, nah, just leave him alone, bro. He does this every time. Like, why does he come out drinking with his name? Like, yeah, well, he's kind of the boss. Like, it's the land of the misfit toys.
Yeah.
It's the best.
There are stories.
Did I ever tell you about the guy who died in Dolan's? Bro, this is the greatest story of all time. Outside of the one-legged man and the one-armed man getting in a fight at Dolan's.
This.
I got stories out the ass. So my dad's bartending. This is probably like 1960, maybe. My dad's literally bartending 12 hours a day and booking to make money because they wouldn't tip the owner's kid back then. Like, so he would make like $1 a day off my grandpa, and then he would book money. My dad was the first guy ever to beat a bookmaking charge in Delaware County. It was a big deal. So anyway, he's working one day, and this guy comes in, and he was literally a watch. He would fix watches in the city, and he was such a drunk that when he would come in, that he would have to tie his hand with a tie in order to get his first shot of port in his mouth because he shook so much.
Oh, jeez.
Like
there was a movie. Who was the movie that guy who did that?
This is a real thing. People would do this.
How do you work on watches with the shakes? Like I know
he
that
would
I had
get
to
drunk before he would go in. He worked at Wanamaker's. So he comes in, and there's a mirror at the bar, and my dad puts up, and it's the front little bar. It's not there anymore. It was probably like a 10-person square bar, but there was a mirror on the wall, and my dad sees the guy come in the front door that's still there, and he turns around and he put a glass of beer up, or he's going to put a glass of beer up in a port like he did every single day, and he goes, where the fuck's Jim, or whatever his name was? And they're like, and he's assed out like this on the ground, has a heart attack, right? They call the police or whatever. I don't think it was even 911 back then, right? They call emergency services come, Billy Park, right?
Yeah.
They get him revived.
Okay.
They put oxygen on him.
He start drinking again.
They put oxygen on him. Tank's empty.
Oh, they ran out of oxygen.
Guy tanks again. There's a dude sitting at the bar named Hutch, takes his jacket off, throws it on top of the guy because he's like, oh my God, the dude died, right? Throws his jacket on the guy. They take the guy out, wheel him down the tower, put him in the morgue. 2:00 in the morning, Hutch is still at the bar.
Where's my jacket?
Where's my fucking keys?
Oh.
They had to fucking go down to the hospital and go in the morgue to get the keys off the dude in the fucking cooler.
Oh.
That. I mean, I'm surprised. I guess back then they get away with it. Like, could you imagine? Like, I left my keys on that body. Like, nah, you're not getting them.
We
keys
had
back.
another dude died.
We all died
Died in
the
house.com.
apartment next to mine above the bar. This is like 1999. I'm home from college. I got this girlfriend. She's smoking. I can't wait to see her. Blah 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 blah. We're gonna go to Crab Fest, right? No, yeah, we're gonna go to Crab Fest that night. Yeah, I forget where it was. Might have been Connolly's or fucking Bones's, whatever. There's a guy who used to drink in our bar named Ray. Ray's this little old guy who lived with another guy named Grant. Now, Grant was a guy who went to Antarctica with Swarthmore College. He was brilliant. When he goes to Antarctica, 15 guys go down there as scientists, right? They all come back fucked up after 6 months. They flew whores down, everything. The federal government flew these guys down to study Antarctica, right? Probably like after Bird went down there and all that.
Yeah.
So what makes you go crazy down there is there's no color.
Yeah.
Like,
all
so your
white.
mind goes
It's all white
nuts.
out, yeah.
Holy
Right?
shit! I didn't even think about that.
Yes. So everything's just white. You know, it's literally they would fly whores down, like music, whatever. He comes back and this dude's fucked up. Grant, he's crazy. Like, and he's that guy at the bar, like, I'll make your hot dogs for you. You know what I mean? Like, Grant would shower once every 2 weeks.
Ah.
Grant winds up dying, but his roommate stays there. Right. Little old skinny dude, right? And he used to drink Pabst Blue Ribbon Quartz. Ray comes in one night. I'm drinking at the bar, and this is probably like 2 months prior. No, I'm sorry, 2 weeks prior to this crab night. I'm drinking at the bar. Ray comes in and he's like, "Hey, everybody!" And he like waves and he goes in to get the quart out of the takeout. His pants fall down, right? And he's got no underwear on. We see his ass, everything. Like, oh, Ray, like, bro, right? Ray gets his quart, goes upstairs, right? It's the last we see of Ray. By the way, that was the day they discontinued Pabst Quartz.
Okay.
The
Going out
day
on top.
we don't see Ray for 2 weeks. It's the summertime.
Uh-oh.
Somebody does his quality control check.
Oh,
Bro, dude melted into the couch.
yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
I saw bugs on that block that I've never seen before in my life. And the smell, if you've ever smelled a dead body,
Uh-huh. Yep.
and I had to go to a crab fest that night. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my entire life. They brought a fumigation company in, and it took $500,000 to fumigate a little 400 square foot apartment. It was nuts. I'll never forget that as long as I live.
That is
that's one of those things that kind of stick with you.
We had an insurance claim where it was an apartment and a 450-pound woman clogged the toilet. Shockingly, they did all the repair work, and then because they were worried about the floors warping, they brought in like 7 dehumidifiers in the middle of the summer. And she went to bed. She had a heart attack. 7 dehumidifiers on, no windows open. They said when they found her, it was a fucking puddle. A person.
Dehumidifiers too.
Yeah. So like you're basically making a rainforest.
Yeah. Yep.
In the heat. Like, with humidity.
And as your cells die, they start to loosen, and then that's why you turn into pretty much goo. In that situation, yeah.
Yeah, they said puddle of person was left.
We talked about some gross shit tonight.
Yes, we have. Guys, go to Dolan's, get some of these Nathan They're delicious. No, guys.
Speaking of puddles of person, smash burgers.
That's going to be on my tombstone.
Big D Bang Bang. That's the new chicken sandwich we got.
Is the Big D
Bang
Bang?
That's a double chicken gang bang. Or Big D Gang Gang. Big D Gang Bang is the Bang Bang with 2 chicken patties.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah, that's the off menu.
Can I? Oh man, I'm gonna come by this week. I want to take a picture of this.
Good. Food's really good.
So you guys
I had the burger. It was amazing.
You guys don't do food on Sundays, right?
We will during football.
That's so hot.
Because at one point you only did the wings during football too. That was it.
Yeah, that was dude.
So good.
Yeah,
so good. It's not even funny.
I'm so happy I have somebody who likes to cook and is doing a great job right now.
Yeah.
And here's the thing with a bar like mine, I don't make money on the food. I just hope to pay for my labor, and I've been doing that. You know what I mean? Because literally, like, you got to do quality and quantity in order to start making money. Like, I'm doing the quality, but I'm not doing the quantity. But I mean, still, we're doing a few hundred sales a day, which is great for a bar like that.
Yeah. and it just gives people an option.
Yeah, and plus they're not going somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with, like, when you don't have a food choice
Sure,
like
you're like,
that,
yeah, fucking, I'm not gonna go there. Yeah,
or do they just go, I'm leaving early?
they do that.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
out of here.
But now it's like retraining people after 70 years. Hey, you can't order double decker and sit at the bar and eat it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot
of people I used to see, like, with the Toludos.
Yeah,
You know,
which is fine as long as our kitchen's not open.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's
Yeah.
a fair. That's fair
That's
of
right.
you. That's good of you.
Otherwise, we're breaking fucking fingers.
Fucking A.
Fuck you,
Won't be the
man.
first person to die in Dolan's.
That's right.
I'll melt your face.
Is there any more clips out?
We're good.
Okay.
We're about 2.5 hours in.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a long one, huh?
I want to thank, just on Facebook alone, the 3,000 people who've already chimed or been checking in. So
Oh,
thank
3,000?
you very much, guys. That's just on
You
Facebook.
sexy bastards. Look
I'm
at you.
telling you.
Much.
People in.
It's you, PJ. Once they heard it was PJ,
Is that one of your higher ones so far?
probably in the last
Since Zuckerberg run the algorithm.
Yeah.
in a live, going live, yeah. Like overall, no, but live, yeah, big time,
3,000 people.
live, yeah. Just on Facebook. Now, not watching simultaneously, but
Yes,
have
checking
checked in. I was just like, that's why when I was looking down when you were telling the story, I'm like, I hope he doesn't think I'm not paying attention. I'm like,
No,
I didn't believe the number. I had to go look, and I wanted to.
No, I was
say
going to
that.
drive down the shore tonight, but I'm not going to now. Since it's
Sorry,
such a
sorry,
long-
RBA.
No, it's fine.
RBA.
I'm just going to make the right decision. Well, Kelsey's thing's tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Which we didn't talk about.
Oh
which we
yeah,
should,
I actually
right?
had that right here. So why don't we talk about that?
The video. Play it.
Oh, I don't have the video.
You know the video? Oh
yeah.
Oh, the video's great.
I didn't have a chance to pull the video.
Is it the PSG one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just describe it.
So, we're known now for having the celebrity things at the bar and
Yes,
yada
you
yada
are.
yada.
Best times.
Lenny Dykstra absolutely hit out the park. Yeah.
And we always got to up it. And forever, people were like, "When's Kelsey coming out?" And he was supposed to the day Mylotta came, and then they backed out the day before. Like Jason couldn't do it, whatever. So they threw
Fun
Jordan.
fact: that Mylotta day was one of the drunkest I've ever been.
That was great.
That
He was only supposed to be
so
there.
fun.
He was supposed to be there 45 minutes. He was there for 4.5 hours.
He literally said, like, I was standing right now, who was talking to me. He said, he's like, this was way more fun than I've ever had at one of these events.
And he got in trouble for it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
definitely believe that.
Did he stay too long?
Well, they have handlers.
Yeah.
If it's an Eagles event, they have someone there to make sure that he's not, playing basketball or doing whatever. Something else.
He wouldn't take a swing of the wiffle ball, remember?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wouldn't take a swing of the wiffle ball and wouldn't do the beer chugging contest.
In public.
He did it in the kitchen that we make our smash burgers in.
I went a couple rounds with him, and he beat me every time. And
I
called me
don't
a
know
pussy.
how he fit in that kitchen, or how did both of you fit in that kitchen.
Yeah.
Well, because he's scrawny in the off season, man. I didn't realize that shit, man. He puts on a lot of them do. They put on the weight.
Kelsey's way smaller now.
Yeah. But Mylotta, he looked like a skinnier Roman Reigns that night, man. He puts on the fucking extra 40 for the season.
So anyway, people have been bugging me like when he's going to get there, and to be honest with you, I'm a little bit obsessed with it too. And we struck lightning in a bottle with Garage Beer. They reached out to us about sponsoring our wiffle ball. They were great. They've been great partners. Yada yada yada. We're doing events with them with our catering license, so we're kind of like their little headquarters in Delaware County. We're the first ones that have it on tap.
Which is not just saying it is a great beer.
Yeah, it's a very
I love
good
that beer.
Yeah, I'm not even a beer drinker, and I was like, damn, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's everything 2SP Delco Lager wants to be.
Heard that.
It really is what they wanted it to be.
I don't know those guys at all, but I don't think I've even tasted it 2SP. Anyway, I'm not a beer drinker, so it's been on my mind, like, do I send the package to the house, blah, 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 with the merch in it. I have a great picture of Jordan at the bar that I thought he could mess with him about, like, you got in trouble, Anyway, so Jamie gets invited to, or PSG. Philly sports guy. Gets invited to the Kelsey Goff thing and brings it up to Jason. Actually texted Jamie while he was there, like, how's it going? And he goes, give me 1 second. And he's sitting next to Kelsey talking to him. And he goes, bro. And he goes, I heard about the bar. He goes, let's do a video with it. Blah, blah, blah. So they talked about it beforehand, which is cool. So the Kelsey event's tomorrow. Nady, who is the Jim McMahon, he's a great guy. He's the funniest dude in the world.
He's a good dude.
He drives this van. It's like a stabbing cabin. And he always parks it in Dolan's whenever he's going in the airport or something like that. My wife's like, whose van's that? I'm like, yeah, it's McMahon's. So they're going to stay, him and Sean, what's his name, Holden? Anyway, they're going to stay at my place tomorrow night. why they go to the Kelsey thing tomorrow. I was going to go, but I don't want to fight that. Like literally, Birdman, the guy who does Birdman, sat outside from 3:30 in the morning last year to get a seat at the bar there. I'm not fucking doing that, bro.
Yeah.
No.
There's certain things that's just not worth it to me.
Yeah, I mean,
Birdman, the guy with the bird on the hat.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Nadine and Jamie have invites.
The big black guy, he has the bird on the hat.
Yes.
What's his name? He's a good dude. He had like a heart attack.
Yeah, he had a
didn't
heart
he?
attack. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, what the hell? He's a good guy.
I don't know his name. We just
Yeah.
call him Birdman. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just gonna. They're gonna park their car somewhere on the mainland. I'm gonna drive them over to see how. I love the beach there. In fact, I always typically go to the beach right where Kelsey's house is. I saw him 2 days ago, and I didn't say anything to him. I don't want to bother him.
That's good.
He was playing with Wyatt,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm not gonna interrupt him.
Yeah, he was the one who got he got real famous when he was crying when the Eagles lost to the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was that. Oh man, he's a good dude. And I feel bad because I remember I just talked to him like right before he had his heart attack.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember his name. I feel bad.
They're all special breeds, those guys, man. they really are.
They're sports furries.
They're different. But they're all different. They're all like Jamie's his own anomaly. Nady's his own anomaly.
Yeah.
It's cool though. Like, I like seeing. I mean, it was goofy in the beginning. We're like, it's a little weird, but everyone's starting to get their niche doing it, and they're starting to get paid to do these things. And
Monty G.
That's it.
That's it.
PSG, like we actually interviewed him on Delco Live, one of our earlier episodes, before the Philly sports guy became a thing. He was actually promoting a movie he was part of, like a documentary.
Yes. Arm wrestling.
And it was a dude who had cerebral palsy, one real strong side, one weak side, and they went to like Morocco.
The name of it was hysterical too. I'm trying to think what it was.
It was clever as fuck.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I don't know. And then he told me the name, like, oh, it's one of those things where the name's so good.
The old reach around.
Then he became, then he, did the whole PSG thing, and that whole thing has gone full Nickelback for me, where it's just like, I don't get it. This is stupid. It's been done. It's just a fan.
Same.
But now it's like, I will die for this man.
Yeah,
he is my god.
And
He's my Christ. Did you just say something bad about him? I will hurt you.
Like Jamie's as famous as the athletes now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's crazy. His face is everywhere.
I was at a lot of the guys from Edge of Philly Sports. We all went to a Phillies game recently, and he came in, and like he's coming up the steps. He's talking to me. He's like, yeah. And we were just like going back and forth and chatting. And he goes, 1 second, like, takes pictures with somebody, comes back, starts talking, and somebody taps him on the shoulder, just stops, takes another picture. Like, people look forward to seeing him.
That's what it is, man. He put the fucking work in.
And a long way from that Flyers outing at Dolan's, right?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, you're absolutely right. As far as the work he puts in, I saw him at, quite a few Phillies playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
Watching him jump over seats to take pictures the entire game. Yeah. He told me
he's pretty spry too.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He told me one of the games that he counted. He had like one of those baseball counters or whatever in his pocket. He counted how many selfies he took with people. He stopped in the fourth inning. He was at 3,200.
Yep.
Jesus. Yeah, I believe it, man.
And they tag him in it. I mean,
yeah.
You
know who loves him the most?
Who?
Kids.
Oh, their parents, and they want to. Yeah, here's the thing: is like
second bars that I go to, because I always make a deal. Oh, if they show PSG, we're all doing a car bomb right now, and then he's guaranteed to get shown every so often.
He even in London, they talked about him.
He must have Jamie.
They actually had
get us out.
I think they had him, but he didn't make it to the air. Like they had like not, and I'm not talking about the Philadelphia people, like the national people who were covering it. They were just talking about the Philly. They said, yeah, we just were talking with the Philly sports guys that came back from commercial.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely correct. Game. People like come out, like I'm talking, we're walking we're at the 300 level. We're walking down, we're just talking, and probably stopped 13 times from like 2 sections down to stop and take pictures. But Jamie was a little bit before his time in the sense that so when he first started, it was just like mainly Facebook he was doing.
Yeah.
And Facebook, you can do things, but if you do too much.
He's got 500,000 followers on TikTok.
Yeah. I know. And I'm saying if you try doing it on Facebook, it doesn't always.
Yeah, TikTok's a lot easier too.
That was right before TikTok became a thing. One TikTok, that was where he.
Yes.
It was made for Jamie.
I went
Philly
to
sports guy. We've been friends with him for so young.
Yeah.
We call it PSG.
PSG, yeah.
So I went to the Cole Hamels retirement night, and I went with Hollis, and we were sitting up in a suite, and it was right next to where all the players were. Like everybody was in there.
Yeah.
So he's down below, and he doesn't have makeup on, and he's with Santa Claus. and he's right over the dugout. And we looked out and we see, oh my God, there he is. Yada yada yada. They still showed him on the Fanavision multiple times because it was him, and people were screaming. So he's even recognizable without the makeup, which is wild.
Because I saw that. I'm like, wait a minute. You don't have the makeup on.
Day off.
Is
Bro.
he like? I was
Plus
like,
holiday.
Yeah.
In London though, that Sunday game, the whole ninth inning when Nick Castellanos grounded out the fucking catcher like a pussy, they showed him like 8 times in the last ninth inning. They like just focused on him having a meltdown, and also on that trip, I genuinely cheered. It was actually the Mets TV coverage got him getting a selfie with the Buckingham Palace guards that don't ever blink.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there. He's like, come on, man. Let's go Phillies. Come on, man. And it was actually genuinely fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like, I thoroughly loved it.
By the way, we've seen a lot of iterations of the paint of PSG.
That England one was great.
The way he got the Union Jack painted on his thing.
I love it.
I got a lot of Irish buddies who are like,
I get
it's in.
But I'm saying it was
it
was well
I thought
done.
It was cool too.
It was well done.
My AOH boys are not too happy.
I get that. I get it too.
And I'm not into that whole British Irish thing anymore. I was when I was younger.
No, I was at Colley's at the time, and I did hear some guys go, "That's his boy," and they started putting fertilizer in the trunk, and then said, "Like, let's get this going." Weird thing, whatever. But
they wanted them to go on a boat ride with Mountbatten off the Irish coast.
They put a bomb in his car that only goes off when you say, "Oh yeah,
yeah."
But like in the beginning, he was, even up to a year ago, he was so upset that he's getting shown all the time, not making money doing it. I'm like, it's gonna come, dude. It's gonna come. He's getting sponsorships now.
Yeah.
So
Good for him,
he's still getting. I mean, dude, money or not, he's getting opportunities to go see some cool shit.
Hell yeah. He's starting to get paid too. Like commercials, they're paying him. Like he just did a commercial with who was it? Stott.
Yeah.
He
did he just do like a music video for the Eagles too? Or not a music, they did like a hype video where they were interviewing different super fans, and he did theirs.
Yes.
That was just recent.
Oh, and that was great.
He's still not getting tickets.
For what?
Any of the sports except for I think the Flyers.
Wait, is he?
I thought the Phillies let him in for free.
I don't think so.
Damn.
I think
they don't give tickets. I thought they just let him in, like standing room only.
I think it depends on who's there.
I mean, they let him go wherever the freak he wants.
Well, yeah. Well, the other thing, there's a way around that, which we could talk about off air.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, that one where they were doing the super fan things was like actually very funny. Where I was like, "Why is this posted?" And like, it's whatever. And they're like, "Just gonna put on a little fucking."
Nady was the funniest in that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put on a little a little paint or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant. I loved it. Love that cameo.
Actually, one of my favorite commercials he did. It wasn't even like a TV commercial, but it was a TikTok commercial or in social media where he was. I think it was for the hotel right by the stadium. And he would say like how he would do his guys. Ever wonder how to do a quick change? And like you would see they could go from an Eagles to a Phillies game all in one day or whatever. And he'd show them like go up there, get cleaned up in the shower, and like redo it again real fast.
And what's crazy is all these pictures are in the apartment that I grew up in.
Yeah,
because that's where he's living.
Yeah.
Now
the living room, as he calls it, at Dolan's bar.
I remember when he started, and I remember him going like, people are just jealous of me. I have the best face paint.
Yeah.
I was like, that's such a stupid claim. But now I'm literally sitting there watching his like time-lapse videos. I'm like, he's so good at it. It is actually
takes him an hour. Everyone takes an hour.
It's fucking great.
It's crazy.
You think by now you have like a airbrush person now?
Well, that's the thing. Like tomorrow, I was thinking about how am I going to weasel my way into the Kelsey thing, and I had a way, and then I was like, you know what? Forget it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be that guy. But I was like, I used to do that with bands where I was the roadie. Like maybe I'll be his makeup artist.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he's already made up.
Just say you're the cameraman.
I'm here to touch him up when he.
Yeah.
I'm PSG's fluffer.
I want Kelsey there for the right reasons.
You're the cameraman. Like Tyreek Hill is allowed to have his own cameraman on the field with him. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
He has
the whole reason why.
Well, actually, now they have the Eagles or most major sports now. They have persons who walk around with iPhones or whatever who do social media. That's at the end of the game. You'll see like Jalen Hurts, doing a quick 30, 60 seconds, and whoever AJ Brown, and then they post it right up like they have to do it. It's like part of the thing.
That was a split between Belichick and Brady. It wasn't like all his dietitians and shit like that.
Oh, it was the TB12 guy. He hated him.
Yeah,
hated him.
Miguel Martinez or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And they think that Belichick might have tanked that Super Bowl.
Kelsey bash at the beach. There it is.
Yeah. I can't stand it.
On a Wednesday.
Everybody there is miserable.
That works there or that goes there?
There.
Oh, okay.
that I've noticed anyway. It's like the shore. I salivate with shore bars because like it's literally like you throw up anything, you can make money down there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because there's just so many people down there, and like you don't have to be nice to people. You don't have to give good service at bars. Not saying
Yeah.
restaurants. Like it's just like we're at the beach. We don't give a fuck. Just give us a stateside. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Well,
things can be done better.
I knew a guy for years who had a pizza shop down in South Philly. He opened every day of the year except for Christmas and Easter. It was the only 2 days he'd close, and finally made good money. Like when his dad passed away and he was handed the business, he sold it. He didn't want to at first, and got a lot of grief from his family, but ended up going down the shore and bought a place on I don't know which boardwalk it was, but he ended up putting a place on the boardwalk. He goes, I made more money in those 4 months than I did 363 days a year.
That's my goal, is to open up a tiki bar in Florida and just go back and forth.
Is the OD, was it the OD or the Dead Dog that made you rent a collared shirt to go in there?
I would think it would be the Dead Dog, not the OD. Yeah. What was the other one across the street from it? Lacosta.
Springfield, Baracas.
Yeah.
Kicks.
It had, across from Lacosta's was the one I was talking about. Is that the Dead Dog?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, they're the one who made you rent a collared shirt for like $15 if you didn't have a collared shirt.
Fucking brilliant.
It was brilliant because you're coming off the shore. Like, no one's going to have a fucking collared shirt.
Yeah.
Like,
so brilliant.
I would go there. I'm like, you don't got my size, broski.
They kicked me out of there once for lying about my height on my driver's license. They were the only people to ever catch it.
What
do you have on your driver's license?
I said I'm 6'3", and
you put 6'3".
Yeah, they let you write whatever you want.
Yeah.
On a good day after a chiropractor appointment, maybe 6'1.5", maybe 6'2". But yeah,
when he stands on his toes,
he was 6'3".
I would say 6'3".
I
know you're not.
It's like House is like he's enormous, but he's only 6'1", I think.
Yeah, he was shorter than me. Yeah. They were just like, you're not 6'3". I'm like, I know, I lied about it on my license. They're like, what else did you lie about in your license? Get out of here. I'm like, oh, fair.
Greatest guy in the world, by the way.
Hollis?
I love him.
Fun dude.
Oh, Hollis, absolutely.
I fucking love him so much.
He was at Delco Day too, and it was hot in there, and he kept padding. He like brought his own sweat rag.
Yeah, he does it.
And I was just like, man, I hope I've never gotten to that point in my life, but now I have, and I'm glad to know that a professional athlete has set the tone that I can carry a sweat rag.
So I met him Delco Day too. We met him through Delco Day too because he
brought a pimp cup to drink out.
He tried having sex with my sister. Yeah,
he's the best. You ever see his Mr. Krabs necklace?
No.
He's got a $250,000 Mr. Krabs necklace. It's all diamond, like pink and red. It's beautiful.
That's amazing.
He says it's the dumbest purchase he's ever made, but he never got rid of it.
That's hilarious.
Dude, the shit that he says to me on Instagram, like, you should see how fucked up my algorithm is. It's so bad. It's so bad. In every way you could possibly imagine.
He is one of the greatest human beings.
He's amazing.
And like I said, Delco Day too, he came out, didn't ask for anything, just gave him some Johnny Walker Blue and, tender morsels hanging around him at all times. But no, he is a great human being. But guys, we have almost 3 hours. This is the longest episode we've done in a long time. But of course, when PJ's here, we always, like you said, the stories are
good
flowing.
stories. Good stories.
So I think we're gonna have to make this kind of a routine thing. Bring PJ on at least once every so often.
Give me once a quarter or something like that.
We'll see what we can do.
All right.
But guys, speaking of PJ, like we said, you have Flannel Fest coming up, right?
Yep.
Saturday. At what times?
3:00.
Any other events this summer?
Yeah, we got to. So we are sponsoring the Vetted podcast, which is Irving and Hollis.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah,
that launch party is at the Reading Phillies Center, and we're probably going to run a bus trip out of it to there from
with
Dolan.
Philly sports trips, right?
Well, they're involved somewhat,
but
not really. This is more Hollis and Irving.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll announce it here. We are going to be hosting their podcast once a week from Dolan's as well. Too.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome.
That'll be cool. So we got that going on. We have we're doing a wire quizzo on a Wednesday, which we never do. We never do Wednesday quizzos hosted by Matty Ice. But Flannel Fest is our big one this summer. Hoping it's going to be killer. Hoping the name doesn't warn people away, Nikki.
It's a little sweaty for my taste.
I just have a Hollis Thomas story. So at Delco Day 2, I was on stage when he showed up and did all that stuff. And I gave this really big speech about how he was my idol. And I recalled and I told the story about when he laid out Michael Vick in the NFC Championship game, running right up the middle. And I was like, that big motherfucker just closed that gap and murdered him. And then I was talking to him. He's like, I'm not Corey Simon, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, yeah, that wasn't you.
Yeah,
It's
not
like,
even
my
look
bad.
like.
I was like, I just told 100 people.
No, it's funny because
that wasn't about you.
Because Delco Day 2 was in Morton at the what was it called again? It was Rosario, JD Ralston's.
Yeah.
JD Ralston's.
The 4 sign.
And he said when he first got into the league with the Eagles, his first place was in Morton. So it was kind of like
Yeah.
But yeah. But guys, I want to remind you that check out Dolan's Bar anytime. Food's great, drinks are great, atmosphere. By the way, some of the greatest regulars of all time.
Yeah,
they're like good friends
Classic.
now of mine. Like every time I can go a week or a year without seeing them, and it doesn't feel like any difference.
Yeah.
You're still running the high end like fancy fucking drinks too, right? Like the mixed drinks and all that shit.
It's funny you say that. Yeah, we I'm actually posting about that tomorrow. Our cocktail list has been revamped. It's actually been condensed. But yeah, beautiful frozen drinks.
You had like 9 strong ones. Like
we were down to
during the
6 now.
pandemic. Everybody tried the frozen drink, the Go cups.
Yeah, the slushy ones.
Not as good as yours. I
No,
gotta just
mine,
say that.
it's not malt beverage. That's why it was actual liquor and fresh fruit and shit.
It was
I remember going by last year when they all like went out there. I forget if it was Matty Ice or it was Nick working, and I tried like 4 out of the 9 of them. Like these are like fucking, they're insane. Like
do it right.
Yeah, it was amazing. So guys, gotta check out. Go to dolansbar.com. Also, follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the Tickety Talk. They got it all. Don't forget one of our favorite snacks.
I gotta get a hold of Ron and put that in there. I keep telling him. I keep forgetting.
Fat Cow jerky, utterly perfect jerky. Like I said, and they have the new bacon flavored jerky. So we're gonna have some more information. They have some other things coming down too, but we're gonna announce them as they come about. So Facebook, Instagram, and go to fatcowjerky.com. And don't forget, life-altering moments, legal needs.
He looks like a cross between Mickey Morandini and Jeremy Renner.
Nailed it.
And
nailed it.
And he's one of the coolest dudes too you'll ever meet. Come to Delco Day.
Some of the best biceps in the Delco area.
He come to Delco Day riding a motorcycle last year. He didn't make this year because he had his daughter's graduation party. But riding a motorcycle with all guns out, sun's out, guns out mentality, and he's one of the coolest dudes. I've known him for years.
He also looks like Roper.
Okay. All right. I see it. But if you get hurt at work, you get hurt in a car accident, personal injury, criminal law, he's the man with the plan who's going to help you get out of these tough moments. Go to cherryinjurylaw.com or call Dave directly at 610-565-0300.
He could do porn called Cherry on Top.
Popping cherries.
Cherry popping daddy right there. But guys, PJ, thank you.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Holbrook, thank you.
I didn't do shit.
I know, you really didn't do anything. But we love you anyway.
Do anything but talk.
Yeah, but other than that, guys, we enjoy it. Thank you for hanging out with us because a lot of people did hang out this whole time, so I appreciate it.
I couldn't even read the things I read.
Yeah, so guys, check it out. We'll be back. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great one.